Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Show Us, Don't Tell Us. It's July 3rd, 2017, and in about 1 second here, well, now, happy 4th of July, everyone, and I'll tell you what, we're going to have a great show tonight. But first, without further ado, let me introduce you to my co-hosts here. We have Skillzzz and Papa Bear. So we're looking for a good show tonight, and I seem to be the one that's a little bit more caffeinated, you could say. But here you go, gentlemen. Welcome aboard.
Well, good afternoon and good morning, guys and gals, and welcome to another fine episode of Show Us, Don't Tell Us, with Michael, the handsome Greek guy, leading the controls. So, great lead-in, Michael, and it's been the first time in a while you've done it, and we missed you last week. Interesting show, but it just wasn't the same without our dude, man, you know. Anyways, I'm going to hand this off to Papa, and then we'll let the chips fall as they may.
Oh, thanks, man. Hey, thanks for joining us. It's been quite a week anyway, but I'm not going to get into that. It's Independence Day. We just hit it, 4th of July here on the East Coast anyway, so it's going to work its way west, of course. But happy Independence Day, everyone. Be careful with those fireworks if you're going to play with them. And, yeah. Play it safe, right? Anyway, what do you got cooking tonight, Mike? Any idea what you want to talk about?
You know, we're going to talk a little bit about Independence Day as, you know, we get along here. You know, we've had so many things happen in the past 8 years that seems to have separated us as a collective whole in the United States. And we have this group and that group and everything else. And then we have people that want to read off and take their interpretation about the First and the Second Amendment rights and what they think that they mean or what they say. And now we have a new president in, our POTUS, President Donald Trump. And we seem to still be having some, well, I hate to say it, but for lack of a better way to say it, a bunch of butt-hurt people. Okay, and, you know, they're so obsessed with this man being the president that they've forgotten how to work with him, and they forgot why it happened.
It wasn't supposed to happen.
No, it was not supposed to happen.
Even the rigging didn't work. There are at least 3 states that won't turn over their voter results because, well, they're not, I don't know. Who knows what they're going to find, but they're not going to turn over the results. They're not going to turn over the equipment.
And, you know,
it's crazy.
I've heard the same thing. You know, a lot of them will say, well, the way that he's racist against women and racist against this. First of all, you don't know what racism is, okay? You have no clue. Right. We've used that word so loosely, such a damaging word, okay, first of all. And
it has no meaning anymore.
No, it doesn't. It means whatever you want. Oh, well, he won't let me do this. He's racist or this and that. The bottom line is that as men, and I can assure you that including myself and everybody else, we've all said something very piggish or chauvinistic at times. Is it racist? No. Is it inappropriate sometimes? Yes. But we're all guilty of it. And I got to tell you, I've heard women talk, and they're just as guilty. Sometimes, if not more vile.
It shows you can't. It shows you can't hold your end in a debate. That's all it shows.
Yeah, it does. And you want to go through all these different things of why you hate this man and how he's obsessed you. Let me tell you what happened, and I'm going to tell you all the way back from the time of the election what happened. You forgot. And I'm saying this basically to the people above, we don't work for you. You work for us. And 61-something million people said no. And it was that simple. And he became president. No more shenanigans. No more of the crap. Whether you like the guy or not. Listen, frankly, myself, some of the things that he tweets drive me crazy. They do. Okay, and I'll be honest with you, but at the same time, I've never seen in my entire lifetime so many people so vulgar, so humiliating, berating, demeaning to a president, that would be considered taboo. And now you have media people, okay, that frankly, you have no business. If you don't like our POTUS, hey, that's fine. You keep your mouth shut, all right? The bottom line is he's the president. He demands respect for that action. No one ever said you're going to like everything he does, everything he says. But if you attack him and then you get attacked back because this guy doesn't like it, well, guess what? Grow up. And I got to tell you, I'm looking at some of these people on here, making these assassination comments and everything else. You know what? You're disappointing. And your human moral character at best is rat crap. Okay? You have absolutely nothing that you should ever say to any man in this world, especially our POTUS, about an assassination. Nothing. That is absolutely ludicrous. That is our President of the United States. His name is Donald Trump. Get over it. Deal with it. And that's it.
He got voted in. The New World Order got thrown to the wayside, and there's the problem right there.
Yeah, well, you know what? We don't need a New World Order, okay?
No.
We don't need that. It's time for some of these other countries to either pay up, shut up, but protect yourselves, okay? We're not your police department, for one. We're not, okay? We have our own people that we need to take care of that demand attention right now. Flint, Michigan is a problem. We need to fix it. We need to fix some of the things that are going on for the Native Americans in this country who, frankly, I consider the founding fathers of this country. We need to fix that stuff. We need to get our nose and our tails on out of these different countries now and say, listen, it's time for you people to take care of your own.
We need to remember our roots.
Yeah. And we forgot
our heritage.
But I'm going to tell you something. All these people
what built this country.
And you know what? The worst thing is that we sit here. We're so damn indignant, okay, that we sit here and the same people who are criticizing our president, and they do it under this false belief, under this false crap of what they think freedom of speech is and freedom of religion is and everything else. And they sit here and insult this man. And then they have the audacity to go on out and celebrate 4th of July. Okay? And then they turn around and blame the soldiers and say, well, it's your fault. You signed on the line. Let me tell you something. Those people have more integrity, more honor, more courage than any of you combined. You spineless fish. Okay? You get on out there, shut your mouth, and do something for your country. Quit being negative and start doing something positive. That's the only way it's going to get fixed, and it's going to get better. Do we have our flaws? We do. But, those things have to get fixed within. Can't do that if we're constantly giving away money and everything else that's not worth a dime to begin with because it's paper money. Yeah,
but how did that happen?
No.
I mean, what does the Constitution say about taxes?
Well, the whole thing. And we've let it get out of hand. And I'm hoping that he comes in. Listen, this was a lesson. This was a clear message to them, to the Republicans, to the Democrats, to the independents. The message was clear by the American people. We've had enough. Yeah. It is time for you to change. No more corruption. Yeah. No more of this garbage.
That was a real question. What does the Constitution say about taxes?
Well, the Constitution said a long time ago when we went through this the first time, and of course I do have a copy of it here, but no taxation without representation. And
is to be apportioned.
Yes. Well, yes. I mean, you're getting into the fine points of it. We're getting into the fine
points. Is to be apportioned. Has nothing to do with sending aid to Israel or any other country.
No. And it's not, hey, listen, it's not just Israel. We're not going to pick on other countries. We know that, well, you know what? For everyone
that makes... It's not supposed to go there.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. People are worried in this country. We're the laughing stock of the world. Really? Then why are people even worried about us? Worry about your own. You're the ones with more problems than us. If we're a first world country, then why are we the laughing stock? You know, we can't even go over and visit those countries. We don't know what
freedoms we lost.
Yeah.
And we're imposing this supposed freedom worldwide.
Well, I've always believed,
you know, we've lost it. We've lost everything. We've lost our travel. We've lost our liberty. That's the definition of the word liberty. And this is the land of liberty, remember?
Yeah, and it's one of those things that we haven't lost it, but we have. And I understand where you're coming from.
Yes, we have. We certainly have.
Papa, can you go from state to state?
And you can make all the excuses you like. It doesn't wash.
Can you go state from state? Can you? You could travel tomorrow from Maine all the way down here and visit me. That's
everywhere.
That's okay. That's the freedom of travel. That's the freedom of travel.
Right.
Okay. So we haven't lost everything. Now, we have lost things that we don't know that we have lost. Well, some of us know now, but
skipped right past the licensing, didn't we? Yeah, we ignored that, didn't we?
So we have lost some things, and we have put in place.
We've lost our liberty.
Well, we have not helped our
liberty. The
liberty.
very thing we're named for, the very thing we pride ourselves on, we don't have it. It's gone.
Well,
we don't even have property ownership rights. The very thing they're supposed to protect, those are gone. We can't own property. 1933.
Yes, but you're going into a whole different tangent that's in a different thing. Actually, you do. I mean, like right now, I own a house. I don't own it. The bank owns it. Yes, I have to pay on it.
You're a tenant.
Okay, so I'm a tenant, but it's my house. That means that no other tenants are going to come into my house. So
yeah, you stop paying your taxes, you'll find out who owns it.
Well, of course. That goes without saying.
Who owns it? Yeah.
Okay, well, that goes without saying. That's on anything. But that's worldwide.
There was no taxes on private property, none at all. But they put you into the commercial loop.
Okay, but
that's how they do it.
Okay, but
that's how they stole the property. The banks did it.
Well, we already know. We've been down that road.
With the help of government. They worked for the UN. That was all signed and sealed. That's why you have the Foreign Sovereign Immunities Act. You can't sue a judge. They're foreign. They're foreign sovereigns. They work for the UN.
Yeah, and these courts, all they are is debt collectors, which is BS.
There are no Article III courts. It's all gone. That's what turned our country from a republic to a democracy. It was all with the Federal Reserve Act.
Yeah, but that's not going to change anything. But
we have to change it on the streets here.
Right. But you got to change it, and you got to change it from the top. Okay, if you have a poisonous snake, okay,
you're not going to change it from the top.
You're not going to sit here and pull its tail. You're going to get bit. Okay, so what do? You put in the best person that you think you can put in there. At this point in time, people voted to put Donald Trump in there. Okay, and the problem is that don't watch what my left hand is doing. Watch what my right hand is doing. Okay?
Yeah.
That's how this stuff starts. So what we have to do is we have to change all that. But the people have to do it together. The problem is everybody has all this infighting going on. Okay, this group here is Democratic, and by God, they're so butthurt. They just can't see straight. They're seething with anger and disbelief that he got in there. And then they start talking about impeachment and resigning and this and that and all these crazy things, and they don't even know what it means. Okay,
every now and then I see a ray of hope from people. I see a bunch of intelligent people out there with common sense who are actually doing it. They're doing the right things. And then there are other times when I just want to throw up my hands and say, you know what, the planet needs a cleansing.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, absolutely. The biggest argument I just heard the other day was, well, what do you say about him having the lowest rating of any president ever?
Who cares?
I don't care. Listen, I don't.
No, but those are numbers. They're not even reliable numbers. Okay, that's only hearsay.
I don't care. I don't care. I know where I've been the last 8 years before. I should forget all that and I should worry about this man's ratings? Give me a break. Okay?
I see what he's done. Yeah, I see what he's done. I see how many hours that man puts in. You name one other president that puts in the hours that he puts in.
Listen, all I know is
One.
for 8 years, and this is going to sting, so just prepared, there was division in this country.
Not gonna
Big
sting
division.
me.
And then we lost more liberties. You want to talk about liberties? Papa, there it is. We lost more liberties and more rights the last 8 years than at any other time. Okay?
No.
I just, we seem to have thrown it away.
Patriot Act with Bush.
Well, that didn't help, but that was a big one. And
Yep, that was a big one.
that was a big one. There's
And
no
of course,
question.
that's
Listen,
Federal
you can
Reserve
go
Act, of
back and you
course.
can say NAFTA too with Clinton. Okay?
Yeah.
That didn't
Yeah.
help. We've made bumbling after bumbling mistake down the road.
Climate change is another perpetrated fraud. It's another one that's being perpetrated on the people, and they're falling for it.
Yeah, they are. And you know what? The fact is, there was a matter of fact. I saw this report. The guy was reading one of the people for climate change. He was reading a report to her, and I don't know if I sent that to you or not. And he was reading a report back from 1922.
Yeah.
1922. Okay, talking about the polar bears, talking about the polar ice caps melting, and this and that,
Yes.
and everything
Yeah.
else. And he
same
goes,
thing.
"Is this the report you're talking about?" She goes, "Well, I have to agree with that report." She goes, "But I don't know if it's that particular report." Okay, and then she had to agree with it. And he goes, "Well, this report was done in 1922." Now, from that point on, her brain shut off because she could no longer sit there and actually say this. This is all big money, okay? Big money. And that's what this is. It's big money, people. Let's call it what the hell it is. It's money. And we have put these people in power. Do you know, I was reading another report yesterday, as a matter of fact, about what are we going to do with all these solar panels that contain palladium or whatever it is that's in them, and the aluminum and everything else after they go bad. They've just been burying this stuff. Well, what do you think that does to the environment?
I don't know.
Well, they were saying that it's even more damaging than what nuclear is.
Who are they?
I'm going to guess the people who did the report. Of course, it's going to be biased. It's on one side. It's the nuclear people fighting with the solar people, fighting with the other people. But it's
and
a point.
Talk about solar. Did you hear the big deal with the wall? The hot points, where the biggest traffic points are, where they need it the most, they want to incorporate solar panels in the wall and then sell the electricity back to Mexico. They'll wind up paying for the wall no matter how you look at it.
Well, you know, and I don't have a problem. Listen, I'm going to tell you something. They created half of this mess. If you want to actually come and go across the country, then you better control your drug problem. We don't need it here. We don't. And there's so many great workers that can come on over and they work fields, drywall. They do so many great talented jobs. But you know what? It's the other elements that are coming with it. And it's poison.
Yeah, but everything is turning into automation now. Okay.
That's
so there's
another
going to be
problem.
a lot of that work is going to be gone.
Yeah, that's another problem.
You've got programmable tractors. They'll go out and they'll plow the field and come back in and blow the horn when they're ready for more fuel. And then you hit the button and they're off they go again. The only thing is they just don't have harvesters for all the fruits and vegetables. I mean, they'll shake the fruits out of trees, and they do a pretty good job, but there's the stuff that lays close to the ground that they have a hard time with.
Well, it's all changing. We have to learn somehow together, again, as a collective whole, to work together. And the problem is we can't do that if we're all infighting. You understand? So
that's right.
Get off of your high horse. Let's take the man. Let's see what he can do for 4 years. Let's just see what he can do. If he doesn't do a good job, we can always vote him out. That's the beauty of it. That's the one liberty they haven't taken. So
the purpose of government is to keep another government from taking this place over. That's all it's for. All right? The rest of it is fluff. And like Frank Zappa said, politics is the entertainment division of the military-industrial complex. Okay? There you have it.
well, we got a mess, that's for sure. Now we got to clean it up. And we do. We got to clean it all up. And it's going to take time.
And actually, you got the right guy in there to do it, and that's why you're having all this trouble. Because he is the right guy to do it. It was an accident.
Listen, it's not 4 months, 5 months. It takes longer than that. Okay? I mean, it takes longer than that, people. Grow up. Jeez, grow up already.
And you know what got Trump voted in, to be honest with you? It was the 47% of us that said voting doesn't work, and we didn't show up.
Yeah. Listen, I don't care. I just know it's not the same good old boy system.
I can't vote anyway. I'm not a United States citizen.
So
that's corporate. That's the corporation stuff. I can't do it.
Well, it's this was different. This was a wake-up call, hopefully. And hopefully they'll pull their heads out of their butts and they'll realize. There's a guy from, it was beautiful. I got a beautiful video of it. And there's a guy from England talking about how the American people voted. He got it. He understood. He goes, listen. He goes, for some reason they voted for this man. And they're so obsessed they still can't understand it. There's nothing to understand. Listen, there's nothing to understand. Right now, he is the man. He is the president of the United States. His name is Donald Trump. That's it. Suck it up, Buttercup, and let's move on, and let's see what we can accomplish together. Okay? It's just that simple. All right? And, sometimes I want to shut his microphone off or his tweets or whatever, but you know what? Quit attacking the man. Quit trying to tell him you want to kill him. Okay? First of all, it should be against the law. I don't know how the hell these people get away with this crap. I don't care if you say it in jest or not. It's not right. You understand? Right. It's not right. And if you're an actor and you get paid millions of dollars, I got to tell you, really, I don't know what you're thinking, man. Just
stick to your acting.
Yeah. Do us a favor.
Do what you do best.
We don't need bands or actors or basketball players or football players or anybody else telling us how we should be patriotic. You get paid for a job. Do your job. Don't say I'm not doing this concert because I'm in protest, Maroon 5, and then cancel a concert that I paid good money to go see. Yes, I got it back later, but ask me if I'll ever buy your tickets again. No.
Yeah. If you're not running for office, leave it alone.
Well, how about Roger Waters in his tour? Said
Roger Waters?
Yeah, people, they walked out. They said, really? Yeah. But paid big money for those tickets. There was no reason for that kind of crap.
No.
Stay out of it.
Yeah, and Johnny Depp, same way. Stuff out. It is you have a job to do. If you got a movie coming out or something like that, you don't want us to judge you. Don't sit here and do this crap. If you have a political agenda, do that political agenda outside of your acting career. Okay, but you better remember
to see a musical performance. They pay to watch a band perform their stuff. That is not what they pay for.
Yeah, you put it on your tour. Well, then you expected to go there
during the Super Bowl event.
Yeah,
that was a bunch of people.
Yeah,
that was bad. That was bad.
The bottom line is they put it on their tour. Okay, there's a difference between morals and actually following the values. Okay, and Christianity and everything else. So if you want to sit here and claim you're a Christian, and then you turn around and you do the things that you do, I'm sorry. You take off that little badge of honor that you put on every Sunday, and do the right thing.
It's the pride thing. Get rid of it. It's no good.
No. It
Get rid of that pride thing. That's going to be the death of you, because all you pride people today, you're going to be humble tomorrow.
Yeah, and it's a shame. And it is, it's a shame. I was so mad at Maroon 5.
The rising rate of autism is not just concerning, it's a disaster. No matter what the cause of it is something that everyone should be acutely aware of and actively helping out those in the community that have it. That is why Adventures in Autism was created. Adventures in Autism is a show inspired by our life with our son Seth, and the many experiences his autism has brought to our lives.
Yes.
Each episode we bring you the topic of the week, news about autism, and resources to help you and your family or friends out in their own adventures with autism. Tune in Mondays at noon and midnight on lnmradionetwork.com or openeyesnetwork.com and get involved in the community. Let our experiences be an inspiration to you.
Attention L&M Radio Network listeners. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of the L&M Radio Network by calling 605-562-4203? No smartphone app or internet needed. Saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Call 605-562-4203 to listen to the L&M Radio Network on any phone, anytime, anywhere.
There are days that the red pill is bitter in my stomach, but I can't get it back out. I think because I have to. I speak because I have no choice. I walk through this dark age we're in with open eyes. Listen to Open Eyes on latenightinthemidlands.com. And together, maybe we won't stumble and fall.
Skype.
The Late Night in the Midlands radio network is deeply devoted to you, the listener. We feel it is necessary to bring you all of the information that you can use in your life. Each and every day you will find something to listen to here. And whether you come away from the shows informed, inspired, or entertained, it is our passion. We don't bow to corporations, and we don't have handlers to tell us what not to talk about. We bring you everything. Late Night in the Midlands, however, is fully listener supported. We need your help to stay on the air and to make sure that we get the bills paid. We need your help to keep the truth alive. If you feel that you have gotten anything out of Late Night in the Midlands, we would appreciate your support. You can become a subscriber and help us out on a monthly basis, or if you'd like, a one-time donation is fully appreciated as well. Every year, the average household in America spends over $3,000 on entertainment alone. If you could help us with just a tiny fraction of that amount, you would make all of the difference. Go to latenightinthemidlands.com and click on the subscribe button. Thank you, and as always, keep yourself informed.
And welcome back to Show Us, Don't Tell Us, and hopefully I got this straightened out a little bit. So, are you back there, gentlemen?
Yes, sir.
Oh, right. Yes, indeed we are.
Is that a little bit better?
It
We'll know
sounds
more
pretty.
later.
It sounds pretty good. I haven't heard any lagging, because it was like going fast and slow before, fast and slow, and you were cutting out. But it sounds good now, so far.
Yeah, I think I was having a the child downstairs decided to FaceTime somebody at 12 something at night. So,
you had a bandwidth hog moment. I see.
Yes.
Not good.
Yeah. Hey, listen. We were talking about how we're seen around the world. Wouldn't it be good? I mean, actually, if you're out there and you're listening, why don't you call in? Give us a Skype. Call in, and let us know how the people in your country see us.
Yeah, that's a great idea. You call us into Skype at 1-216-772-1330. That's 1-216-772-1330. Yeah, we want to hear it. I mean, if you disagree with us, and you want to tell us how you really view us, come on.
I want to know what the rumors are. I want to know what the rumors are. I mean, I hear good, I hear bad. But I guess it depends on who you're hearing it from. I'm sure there's a consensus, but looking at what's happening in the Middle East nowadays, and what happened over in Ukraine, it's I don't know. I'm kind of mixed about it. What the opinions of someone else would be deeply, deeply appreciated.
Yeah, and it would. And, we're not going to sit here and bash you, I mean, I don't feel that way about other parts of the world. I know that you have your problems and everything else. Am I going to sit here and say that you're the laughing stock of the world?
We don't ask questions that we don't want answers to.
No. So here's your invite. Come on out,
We're
say
not
something.
afraid of the truth. We're not going to run from the truth. That's why we're here.
Exactly.
I mean, spew it. We want to hear it.
Yep, that's 1-216-772-1330. If you've got something to say, we're here. We're ready. We want it.
Skype ID, show us, don't tell.
Yep.
Call us on Skype.
Give us your thoughts, your opinions. It's important to us. We value that. So, Skillzzz, you've been awful quiet. Here we go.
What do you hear for rumors about us?
Absolutely.
We have a caller, don't we?
Yeah, we do. JB, how's it going, brother?
Hey, it's going good. How you guys doing tonight?
Good,
JB,
man.
how are ya?
Good.
All right.
Liner that
What's
frog.
calling in? What's on your mind?
Not much, man. I just was hearing you guys talking about Trump there, and I just wanted to, put in my 2 cents.
Ah,
Please do.
well, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I've noticed that really the only thing that I've heard on the negativity from anybody is just people that are really unhappy with, I guess you'd say, all the freebies that Obama gave out being taken away. And I do agree with Papa on the whole 47% thing, saying that all the people that chose not to vote were probably the ones that really handed Trump the win. Because most of us would have probably went out and, voted for Hillary or, supported that whole side. But I'm really glad that a lot of people didn't, and a lot of people sat back and just said, hey, this really doesn't work for us. And I think now people are starting to see that I don't think Trump wanted necessarily to win, but the fact is that he is in there now. And I think he just kind of realizes, hey, the United States is a pretty messed up place. He's stuck by his message of I will drain the swamp. I don't think he realized how bad it was until he literally got in there and started to see whoa,
it's more of a lake.
Everyone's in someone's pocket,
Yeah, well, see, Trump is the only guy that can't be blackmailed.
It wasn't a swamp. It was more of a lake.
No, exactly. Right, but like Papa said, is they can't hold anything over his head. They can't buy him. They can't blackmail him. They can't. Let's be real. They tried. They tried with the numerous. All the crap they tried to put out over the last few months has all just been trying to literally put this image on him. But let's be real.
If you go back,
this guy,
the guy's squeaky clean.
If you go back and you look at this before the elections took place, and I saw this video on there. You had, of course, she's in the 12th district out of San Francisco in California. Not only did, we know who we're talking about there, don't we, Papa? Yeah. So
that crazy Maxine?
No, not Maxine, the other one. She's just as nutty. But she got on.
Nancy?
Yes, Nancy Pelosi. She got on, and then you had Tom Hanks. And then you had, after that, you had her. Then you had some people off of CNN. Then you had, and they all said something that I found very strange. Donald Trump, quote unquote, Donald Trump will not become our president. And you can take that to the bank. You can take that to the bank. Every one of them just about said, you can take that to the bank. What did that mean? Because they all had that common theme, you could take that to the bank. I'm not really sure where they got that from, but I'm going to tell you, I had the best cup of coffee the next day. It just tasted better. The air smelled better. Okay.
Yeah. I don't care how much the bank was going to pay out the other way. Yeah. It didn't work.
You got to ask, though, was it really the bank? Because I'm starting to just believe from my 33 years of being here is that the way that it all works is it's basically from the top down, and like the people who allow that person in, literally, is it because they're a yes man? Whether that's Hillary, whatever, but it's because they're a yes man. And all these people playing in each other's pockets with Wall Street, the whole thing, and it's just a huge masquerade of just stealing our money and making us pay for everything. And I'm sick of people sitting back and being like, well, everything's just not fair. It's like, it's not fair because the middle class is the ones paying all the taxes and doing all the work.
Yeah.
The rich people are the ones that aren't paying any taxes and just basically taking all of our money.
Newt Gingrich put his finger right on it. He said they don't like Trump because he's not a member of any of the societies.
Right.
Okay. So, and that's what did it right there.
They thought, here's where they made the mistake. They bet on the wrong horse, first of all, okay?
Oh, yeah.
They thought she's a woman. We just got done.
The Caesar Queen.
Yeah,
what she was. Caesar Queen.
We just got done electing the first African American as president, and President Obama. I respected you as being a commander in chief, and I do. I'm not going to tell you I was overall happy about it, but you were the POTUS, so I respected that. I lived with that for 8 years. Okay, that's the way it went. But you thought, okay, we're going to bring in the first woman president now, or who they thought was going to be the first woman president. Yeah. And that had the same agenda, the same good old boy system and everything else. And she basically didn't even realize that you're a puppet. That's all you are, okay? You have too many other people pulling the strings, banks, corporations, everything else. You're the puppet. That's all you are.
Here's what I think about. I think about George Carlin saying, it's one big club.
And you ain't in it.
You ain't in it.
I ain't in it.
Well, you know what? Trump wasn't in it either.
Yeah, and he turned
He
around.
got voted into the club, and they can't deal with it.
I mean,
I think it's that he wasn't in the club. Like he's not elitist. He's a billionaire. Therefore, he goes to these social functions. He knows these. He's known these people and the inner workings for years.
But that's the thing. They voted him into the people voted him into the club, and he can't be blackmailed. He's the only clean one in the club.
Listen, how many people can honestly say out there they knew who George Soros was, Monsanto, Rothschild, or anybody else before 2000? Nobody. I mean, it is such a small, diverse group that actually did. Yeah. And now
loose change woke me up. The movie, the little movie there, Loose Change. That's the one that really tipped me over because I got to be honest, guys. I never bought into the whole 9/11 scenario story. The whole box cutters, I'm sitting there thinking to myself, I'm like, you're telling me that me and 5 of my friends on an airplane couldn't take out a couple of people with box cutters? Like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, but I mean, look at the building. The building disintegrated. Buildings don't fall like that.
That building over there in England or whatever, burned for umpteen hours and never even fell?
Oh, it's still structurally sound.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, thermite. Yeah, exactly. That's why they had molten pits for days and weeks and all that afterwards. But do you notice that Bush made sure that stuff got taken out ASAP? ASAP.
Wait a minute.
And then what? Building 7 just went down by its lonesome. All righty, then. Yeah. Moving right along. See here, folks.
And there's your key. Molten metal?
Yeah.
How do you get molten metal from 1700 degrees?
At most, and I'm going to tell you, we're not sitting here saying for sure that we're not going to be accusatory. That's what we're saying is it does beg to ask questions. It does.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's brought down.
And if you've got 100,000 engineers conjoined, they're all sitting here saying, "Hey, this isn't right." Nobody's even giving them a fair ear. And I got to sit there and say, why? These are the people who built these things. They go to school, they are the instructional engineers. And if they're coming in here and saying, hey, this ain't right, if you got FAA pilots coming in and saying this isn't right, how stupid are we as a country to not take that in?
Because we have learned something as a country, and I'm going to put it right here in a nutshell. We have learned from social media that our eyes cannot be fooled. And I don't know who gave us this thought that our eyes can't be fooled. But if we put it right in front of our eyes and we say, this is it, this is true, this is what we believe and what you should believe, then enough people believe it, there you go. But I'm going to tell you, we've seen this with videos where you get part of the video, but not the rest of the video. It's like part of the story, but not the truth of the story. So
That's right.
This is how this stuff takes choice. The problem is, companies like CNN, you have way too much power, and you have abused that power, in my opinion. And
No, you don't have to say your opinion. You are dead correct with that. Like most major news media, and like for better terms of word, is all Jew-owned, and they literally push one narrative. What did we see on every channel that day? The same clip over and over and over and over and over and over and over. Nothing more, just the same clip over and over. And no one ever asked, like, so you're telling me no one was in the sky, no helicopter, no nothing else got any type of another video? No. And then the whole thing with the Pentagon. We got 3 clips, and then after all that court case, they finally released a video. You cannot tell me a plane hit that. A plane would have left way bigger of, like, wider wingspan. Like, there would have been mass damage. It was completely vertical. It looked like something was either shot a missile or there was a bomb that just exploded.
There were things missing out of the clip that I found interesting. Where were all the parts? Where was everything?
Yeah.
No, not what.
I mean, with such a catastrophe and such a tragedy, where was it all? And let me tell you, what just some of this stuff. See, we've fallen sucker to some of this stuff, and I'm going to tell you that as we go along, and I'm hoping that we educate ourselves better. I think people are starting to wake up, and people are starting to become more aware.
This
Common sense is kind of going away, though.
Yeah, no, they're dumbing us out for sure. I got to be honest, guys. These younger kids under me, oh my God, like it is terrible with just how blind and ignorant they are. And I don't mean that to be negative. I really don't. But I
worked with a kid in the apprenticeship, and we're shearing steel in the shear, and he says, "Oh, that's pretty close." I says, "How far off is it?" He goes, "It's real close, like 2/16." I says, "You mean like an eighth?" He goes, "Oh no, not that much."
Okay then. This is going to hurt too. Millennials, you suck. You do. I hate to tell you. Okay, I'm just going to come on out and say it. You suck. You people have no concept of.
There's a guy who says, "You know how many thousandths there are in an inch? Well, there's got to be at least 1 million of them."
I mean that. This whole group, you self-entitled babies. I mean, you do actually have to work. See, the rest of us before you, we call that, it's a 3-letter word. It's called job. Okay, J-O-B.
Yeah.
And my God.
Well, I mean, there's a certain amount of education that needs to be applied,
Right, but if you're not dirty and you're not sore and you're not tired at the end of the day, you're not working hard enough. And these kids nowadays, they go and work part-time jobs for a couple hours and come home whining and crying about how hard it was. It's like flipping burgers. Like you're telling me that's hard? Go work 12s. Go work 16. Swing shift. You want to talk about work? They don't know anything about work.
If you drop out of school because you can't finish and you think that you're going to be deserving of $10 an hour or something that's way above minimum wage, or the millennials who think that you're entitled to some kind of a 4-year college and the one girl getting on there, it should be paid for me. You know what? Suck it up, Buttercup. Okay, the rest of us had to pay for our school, and we figured it out. And yes, college is definitely overcharging now. There's no question. But
they are grossly overcharging.
We're grossly overcharging athletes. I mean,
where my daughter worked out, she got a job at Paul Wallace. And by working there, 96% of her tuition's paid. That's like having your cake and eating it, man.
Yeah.
That's the lottery.
And I'm just going to say, you have these kids today feel like, hey, I should have this. I'm entitled to this. You know what? Nobody owes you crap. You understand? Before you're 18 years old, let me tell you what we owe you. We owe you a roof over your head, protection, education, clothes on your back, and food on the table. Do you understand? Those 5 things. There you go. That's what we owe you. Now, once you're 18, all right, guess what? It's time to put on the big boy and big girl pants. Go on out there, get a job, get your education, do what you want to do. You're only going to get exactly what you put into it. You understand? The deck is not stacked against you. You actually have to go and do it. If you search hard enough, you will find it. But it takes effort.
Here's the thing, Michael, in regards to that as well. Depending on the child, hopefully you have raised that child in a proper scenario. It's called, okay, you can live under a roof. However, you're going to pay a little rent. You're going to foot your bills if you're a decent kid. And we're going to groom you on how to perhaps better yourself, because that's our job. We got to prepare these kids, and sometimes it's not as easy as you think.
Yeah.
Well,
and Skillzzz, that is exactly right. What happened to the fact of, like, a lot of people can't even get an opportunity to get in the door anymore because everyone's looking for credentials, experience, all these things. They don't care if you're an honest, good person. They just want to know, like, do you work? Do you have work history? Like, are you capable? Are you able? I'm like, if I am a business owner, I need people in there I can trust. I need people I know that if I send them to a job, they can make the critical decisions to get something done without having to call me 100 times so that I have to leave what I'm doing to go and take care of them and babies. You know, like,
yeah, but the only ones that want to work are the ones that are overqualified.
Then you have to micromanage is what you're doing.
Yeah.
No, when I was 21, I was working a full-time job, 45 hours a week. I pumped gas 2 nights a week. I went to school 3 nights a week, and I worked my regular job Saturday 5 hours, but I worked security from 3 to 11 on Saturday and 7 to 11 on Sunday. I had 3 jobs and went to school.
Yeah, but that was back in the 1800s. But I'm just kidding you, Papa.
He's joking.
78, 79, 80.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I mean, yeah, it was a while back,
right.
but,
no,
you know, I worked all the time. You know, and the guys that made their businesses were working from sunup to sundown.
We all did, okay? We all had to do that.
You're not going to get rich working 40 hours.
Listen, these kids can't even cook themselves a grilled cheese sandwich, dude, okay? I mean, I'm watching. I told my kids, if you can't work a washer and a dryer or fill and empty a dishwasher or cook yourself something to eat, how in the hell are you going to survive out there? That's part of growing up. That's basic ABCs right there. Second of all, teach these kids.
Put the new toilet paper roll on top of the old toilet paper roll in a vertical fashion. I need to grease the old one.
Mine don't even do that.
Slide it through and put it in like everyone else.
There's an empty toilet paper roll and a roll of toilet paper that's on the floor on the other side. Yeah. And I swear to God, I want to kick that thing against the wall to where I know they have to get up and grease their butts in order to get to it. Yeah. You know, it just ticks me off so much. But I'm just saying, these kids can't even balance a checkbook, okay? What is the education we're sending them out? You know, what are we giving them? We've taken everything. So
but they're almost like setting them up for the point of where they can basically rely on someone else.
We gave them Common Core.
We're creating separation. We are weeding. We're doing it to ourselves. We've been given a full set of instructions how to weed ourselves out. And that's what we've done. Okay, this is where don't watch what my left hand's doing, watch what my right hand's doing. We followed this crap and have started to weed ourselves out. We do it from everything, from vaccinations to education to foods. We're doing it now with
medication.
Foods. Okay, to medication to everything. And we keep following this broken script that doesn't work. It doesn't work, man.
Well, Michael, here's an issue here. Now, you can relate to this. I remember my old man, every winter, all right, come November, snow tires went on, 71 Skylark, right? And he says, now, I'm going to show you how to do this oil change, and this is how you lube the whole front end, because you had grease fittings, right?
Absolutely.
Now, see, the problem throughout engineering throughout the years is where you become reliant on the mechanic, which is going to take nothing but money out of your frickin' pocket, as opposed to successfully doing it yourself for pennies. So instead of You know, you can't lube anything on the front end. You can't lube anything.
No.
There are no grease fittings.
Nope.
You go through ball joint left and right, and who's going to repair it? If you don't, who's going to repair it? What's that going to cost you? And these older individuals who get sucked in, and other individuals that are not savvy in regards to this, it's like, oh man! And then before you know it, you're looking at a job you could do yourself for under $50. You're looking at $8,000-9,000 they're going to suck out of these people, and they do it.
Well, one of the first things that I taught my daughter was how to change a tire. And when she had a hard time getting the four-way to undo one of the lug nuts, I said, honey, I'm going to show you how to do this. And I call it a step, technique. I make sure it's on there good. And I tell her, you're going to have to use your weight if you're stuck in a bad situation. Normally I wouldn't do that, but if a girl is stuck in a situation to where she has to step on, I said, carefully step on the four-way until you can get it loose. Hopefully, some other idiot mechanic hasn't put it over 100 pounds. Most of the lug nuts get tight. That's right. Otherwise, you're never going to get it off. Yeah. So, everyone should be anywhere from in between about 85 to 105 pounds. That's it. No more. Okay? Unless you have a different car that requires that, you'll have to check with your owner's manual. But that's the norm. Okay? She knows how to do that now. I know she won't be in trouble. And I watched her go through it to make sure she understood it. So I know she's protected. But today's kids don't know the basic stuff. I'm telling you, they can't do laundry, man. They throw dirty clothes downstairs. They're 17 years old. And I'm thinking,
whose fault is that?
That's why I get on them.
They don't teach you laundry in school.
Listen, as a parent, Judy and I will tell them, listen, we will show you how to do this. Now it's up to you. Now, if you want to wear dirty clothes on out there and you get an infection or something else, well, I guess you'll learn how to put soap in and turn on the washing machine. We're good about that. But they're lazy. Yeah. Lazy. And that's really what this is coming down to. Hand it to me. Don't make me come and get it. Hand it to me.
You know why they're lazy? Because there's no interest in anything.
Well, why are you going to have an interest? You can play Xbox from the time that you wake up. It's right in your room. It's right there. There's TVs.
That's where the interest
there
is.
There you go. And now...
That's entertainment, not work.
And now we've told them it's okay to just, it's one thing. With any medication, you have to take it responsibly. Okay? If you don't, well, you're asking for problems. But now we've got it to where, hey, just smoke dope all day. It's cool. We're creating separation. We're creating this. And now we've got this problem with opium. Where's all this stuff coming from? Gee, I wonder.
Who's we?
Who's
we?
The American people, the whole East Coast. Where have you been?
Hello, you're not daddy to the world. It's not up to you to protect people from themselves.
No, but you have to teach them. And you do, because they won't protect themselves from themselves. Hence, that's why we ended up with the government, because they believe they're supposed to protect us. How do you think all this starts?
Just like the church.
There you go.
Yeah. They're all from the same book. Okay. But yeah, anyway.
Okay, so now we have a drug problem, and it's a major problem, and it's on the East Coast. And I keep going back to who's making all the money. Well, the pharmaceutical companies are making a great amount of money off of the Narcan. Now we've got a state that's turning around and saying, after the third time that we've come out and saved you...
Right, 3 strikes, you're out.
Yeah, 3 strikes, you're out. Next time we're going to let you die. So where's the value of life there? Okay, that's the answer. That's it.
Where's the view of life in Planned Parenthood?
Listen.
It's even get worse. Heroin, you thought that was bad? No.
It's selective.
They withdrawal sickness. Fentanyl takes a couple 6 hours, $20 a pill, and they might buy 2 pills a day, 3 pills a day. They got to crush them, snort them, and then they go through that same sickness that they would take a whole day through heroin. It's worse than that. Now they go through it 7 hours later.
Like Hunter said,
all selective. They'll abort a baby that's been fighting for its life while they've got it sitting there off to the side, while they're fighting to keep another child alive that has health problems because it's selection. It's all about what the parents want. It's all selection.
Well, I mean, it's like Hunter said, but here's the problem.
You can't get them all.
The thing is
You're not gonna.
Now you've got a drug where if it even gets on the clothing or touches somebody, it can get absorbed through the skin, and it's a danger to somebody else. To me,
Hey, you got codeine.
that's unacceptable. That is an unacceptable thing that we're happening, and we do need to put a stop to it. We do.
Have you looked up scopolamine? Scopolamine. It's devil's breath. Colombian devil's breath. Look that up.
Well, it already sounds bad. It's like I say when I go skiing. You don't go down hills called the Widowmaker. Okay. You don't go down hills called Devil's Glen and stuff like that. Okay. Good things aren't going to happen, Papa. Okay.
Yeah.
You get my point?
Yeah. Yeah,
All right.
Yeah, Sonny Bono did that, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But
So,
a lot of it has to do with the position you're in. But anyway.
Devil's breath, it's not good. That's why the spider's called a Black Widow. You get it?
Depends on how much you know, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
so...
right.
I hate to bring that up, but it makes a point to me.
No, but Colombian devil's breath, I mean, they blow that stuff in your face and you're in a trance. You're hypnotized and never even know what's happened. One guy helped 2 people clean his apartment out. He woke up on a park bench. He went back to his apartment and went inside. It was empty. He walks down to the doorman and he goes, "Where's my stuff?" He goes, "You moved out last night." He says, "Why didn't you stop me?" He says, "Well, you told me not to."
Yeah, I blew that in your face and I helped you.
Okay? People die. This is Colombia. People die.
And that's fine. But I would rather die on a natural term that God has set forth rather than somebody coming up and touching me with some kind of a poison. Okay?
Exactly.
That's not dying.
But the
That's
thing
called
is,
murder at that point. You
stuff
see?
like that hasn't entered my neighborhood. It hasn't entered my living room. It doesn't affect my life personally. Although with others it does.
It
With other
could.
people,
And
it
that's
does.
the problem. Papa, somebody could walk by you, touch you, and you would not know what the hell happened. Now it affects your life because you know of the existence on it.
Right.
You know? So that's where I have the problem. And I'm not, God forbid, I didn't mean to even put that out there because I don't like to send that idea. Okay?
Yeah, and like I said, you can't save them all. You know, I mean, that's why there are abortion clinics. You can't save them all.
No, but you can try. And when we quit trying, that's where we have more failure. And I mean, you got to try.
And the drunk drivers that kill themselves, you're not going to save them from themselves. It's too late. At that point, it's too late. Okay? I mean, it's an unfortunate thing. What they're doing is definitely unfortunate. It's a bad thing. I don't condone it.
No.
But
Listen, none of us do.
responsibility.
None of us do, but that's not the point. It's to try to prevent it, okay? Our job here on this world is to do right by mankind. We can't do this when the deck, like George Carlin said, the deck is stacked,
Our job is to
man.
spread the good news. How many people are doing that?
The deck is stacked. The table is tilted. And, you know, you think you have rights. You don't, you know? I mean, you know.
You have privileges.
Yeah.
They're licensed. And what's the difference between a privilege and a right? A privilege can be taken away. And who gives you your rights?
Yeah.
God gives you your rights, your creator.
Yeah, well, we've lost sight of God somehow. And we've made
Who's we?
that mistake. Well, I'm not talking for you and me. I know what I believe. And I assume that I know what you believe.
I haven't lost track.
Okay. Don't ruin my rant. I was going in a smooth direction there.
There was a minute fallacy there that Papa pointed out, but go ahead.
Yeah,
it's
don't encourage him, Skillz. You know.
I got it all.
Now I just and here we are. Now we're to this day, 4th of July, Independence Day.
Right.
A time for celebration, a time for joy, a time that everybody is supposed to come together.
Oh, I thought it was to be like isolated, being independent.
Well,
Yeah, right. Away from the queenie. Yes.
I just want to know,
Yeah.
are all these
need you.
people that are so upset?
I'm
and
independent. I don't need you.
Are all
Right.
these people that are so upset and butthurt? Are you going to go on out there and celebrate? Because God knows you've had a protest about everything else. I'm surprised you're not protesting today.
That's slowly dying down, man. It is. Thank God. Jeez, oh man. Yeesh.
Thank God it is, I was, after a while, every day it was a protest. Every day it was this.
They're exhausted now. They are underpaid.
It wasn't a contest. It was a protest.
Yeah, right.
And
Yeah.
And of course, the great state that he was representing at that time is now in such financial need. There's a big surprise.
It could have been a urine test.
Oh, jeez. Illinois is in such a mess right now. And I got to tell you, you've tried everything. You've said everything. Hey, let's get rid of the guns. Let's do this because we don't want that. And
Yeah,
the gun problem went on up. Now you're almost broke.
Australia did that, didn't they? That worked out good.
Yeah. So is their financial thing. What was it? 1 in 12 or something? Some stupid, ridiculous number.
Chicago?
Yeah, that was on welfare. That's in the state. It's like 1 in 12 or something like that. It's
They need to just dissolve the state and divide it up into the 4 around it, and just bye-bye Illinois.
That's a train wreck, man.
Yeah, train wreck. You're right.
You say bye-bye Illinois. You're bringing Puerto Rico. You don't have to change the stars on the flag. Everything's hunky-dory.
I don't know if I want to bring them in either. They're not in their greatest financial stand. They're just...
They want to come in because they're bankrupt. They got to lean on somebody. It may as well be us. Heck, we've called them a territory for a long time now.
Yeah.
Welcome, fellow Americans. Welcome to Puerto Rico. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'm not so sure about that. It seems like a bad deal.
Hey, come on now. Just because the Mexicans don't like them.
Hey, listen. How many times did they fight about becoming a state?
Let them in.
How many times did they fight about becoming a state and say they didn't want to? How many times? I've saw a few times in my lifetime that they were like, no, we don't want to be a state. We're not going to be a state. Okay, fine. Now all of a sudden you're financially destitute.
You talking about Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
No, they voted on it. They're all for it now.
They want handouts. Are you kidding me?
Listen.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Prior before, they voted before and decided no. Now all of a sudden they're destitute and now they want to. Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
what do you mean so? What are we going to do? How much more? How many more taxes are we going to pay out of our pocket to take care of them?
Here's the deal, okay? The bank says do whatever it takes to absorb them, okay?
Yep.
That's just more stuff we got. Sure.
Yeah, that's right.
That's more collateral. More collateral for the debt.
More control.
Yeah, all country and all the... Oh, yeah. Oh, heck yeah. Let's do that.
What a pretty little sponge. Boy, it can take in a lot of water.
How big is it? Oh, yeah.
You've got to look at all the sides of it, right? If they're going to... It's leverage, man. It's leverage. It's
for
free stuff. It's free stuff that they can sell, like that they tried to do over there in the Midwest, the uranium with Dirty Harry Reid and all that.
Listen, I'm all for getting rid of
Clinton,
California.
Right, with the uranium, Hillary Clinton. Yeah, well, wait a minute. No, that's the Russians deal that Trump was tied up in. I'm sorry. I didn't say that, did I?
I'm all for getting rid of California. I wish we could undock that state and just let it float downward. So,
Yeah.
Their wild lunacy and how they live. They're,
Just change the border wall.
Yeah, we need to...
Solar panels on the border wall, so the Mexicans will pay for it anyway when they buy the electricity.
I
love it. Hey, it's a good idea. That's what they're planning on doing.
And the thing is that even with our president today, by the time you go to bed, the poor guy's probably rubbing his head, and he's probably thinking, oh, jeez.
Yeah. Hey, when you get 20 megawatts out of that thing, yeah, you sell the power, right?
Ugh.
Yeah.
In Canada, by the way, you can't laugh at us. Do you understand?
Yeah, right. Yeah, I've seen Trudeau. No, yeah, you're right.
You have nothing to
at
laugh about us, and we are not your laughing stock, because you have an anchor right now that has been attached to the bottom of the ocean that has never let you go. So, you should just be our friends, and let's just call it that.
It doesn't matter. I mean, it doesn't matter. The United States bought Toronto years ago.
Yeah.
Long time ago.
That's a booming place.
It's all together. It all goes through the same bank. It's just that one uses Canadian. You got Canada money, right? Which is part of Britain, right? Which is the pound, which is supposed to be part of the European Union, but they don't use. They're not going to use euros. Oh no, we can't do that. So it was bound to break up. The Brexit it was bound to happen.
It doesn't break my heart. England finally said, no more of this. This is a bad bet. And they backed out. And
right.
They saw that coming. And
well, did you know that we signed on with the BRICS? The only thing we haven't done is activate it.
Well,
so did Britain. Britain did too. They were early.
Well, the problem is that really, out of every country in the entire world, how are you people making so many stupid mistakes? Come on.
You know what? I'm not an expert, so I'm not going to say what kind of mistakes or stupid news making them.
All of us?
There are some things that I don't agree with. I can't see the strategy behind it, but then again, I'm not a really good chess player.
Well,
however,
there's your clue.
Trump seems to be one. Trump seems to be a good chess player.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. I just at least think
they don't go through them like Swiss cheese. Yeah.
Oh no! What happened? He's got them wound up, and they're acting like school children, and they can't even face the issues. They're too busy defending the attacks on them. It's like, don't defend it. Move along with business. They still can't get business right.
When in the hell have you ever seen in the past somebody take a bloody head that was our president and hold it out and make a joke and think that that's a joke and that that's acceptable? When in the hell have you ever seen that? And then cry about it.
Clip of him and Vince McMahon. They used CNN's logo on Vince McMahon's face. Looks like he body slammed him. And there's a big uproar about that. Right.
The whole thing, it goes beyond shameful. It really does. I don't care what she says.
It's embarrassing.
You cry me a river. What you did was completely unacceptable. It was classless. It was.
Yeah, but what Trump is doing, Trump didn't even make that video. Somebody made it. It just happened to show up and they shared it. It was pretty good. I like it. But they never made that.
Yeah, I never even saw it. I didn't. I don't pay attention to it. But
yeah,
I try not to pay attention to the antics because that's the stuff that doesn't matter. I only care what he's doing during the business side. That's it.
It has entertainment value. That's about it.
Yeah.
You laugh it off and you move along.
That's it.
It's that's pretty cool. And you move along. Where's the real news?
Here we go. Let's tell you. The tweets, people, have nothing to do presidential or anything else, okay? He might be doing them, but that's the entertainment side of it, okay? I only care about what the businessman is doing, what the guy that is sitting at the desk, not tweeting about, but doing behind the scenes, okay? That's the crap I care about. You want to sit here and play with them on tweets and everything else and then cry about it afterward. Okay, go ahead, man. I don't care. That's not what I care about. I care about the stuff that's, important. How are we dealing with the other countries? What are we doing? And all this stuff that you're all crying about, the other presidents did. You just don't like the fact that Trump did it. Okay, Bill Clinton has a big speech out there. Barack Obama had a big speech out there about deportation, vetting, and everything else. He didn't say anything different. You just don't like how he said it. That's what hurts your feelings.
And here's another place where I disagree with you. You know, how the other country is doing. What do we care? It's none of our business.
Well, until we're out of there, it is our business. We need to get out of there. We got people there, so we're vested. So we need to get our investments out of there. And that's what we need to do. And then we need to go back and say, listen, from now on in, let's deal with gold. Okay, gold, silver, you know, different precious items that are, you know, something substantial rather than a piece of paper that I don't think anybody can back. I don't think there's one country out there that the banks can back what they've been.
There is no
printing.
backing.
Okay. So
never mind can.
There's my point. So we have to go back to a system that works and not to a system that's make believe. Okay? And
that's right.
That's
right.
I mean, that's what it is.
And that's what's going to happen.
You guys are speaking common sense. This is crazy.
Yeah, there's something wrong here, huh?
Well, it's just one of those things. I'm going to speak a little bit more common sense because we kind of got thrown off, you know, from our interruption on the first one, but we're right back at that same time. So, you know what we're going to do? We're going to go ahead and take another break because I am out of coffee, and I guess we're kind of doing our breaks different. If that's okay with you guys.
Fine with me.
Yeah, and we will indeed be back in a jiffy.
Yeah, as soon as
In a jiffy, the man said.
Yeah, in a jiffy. So I'll tell you what. Let's pick a song here. Let's see. I don't have Cry Me a River. So,
Yeah.
you know, so, I do have, I have a song here. It's called Tenderness. And I'm going to tell you,
yeah, right.
I want to thank, you know, for our music here on Show Us Don't Tell Us, bensound.com. He has been gracious enough to let us use his music for our show. So that's where we're going to go. Let's go to a little bit of Tenderness. And we'll be back in just a bit. Skillz, lead us out.
Alrighty. Listen, hang in there, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we'll be back in a jiffy.
Open Eyes seeks out the heart of matters, looking for explanations in places that most other radio hosts refuse to go. No subject is forbidden, and nothing remains hidden. Listen to Open Eyes on the Late Night in the Midlands Radio Network, weekdays from 7 to 9 p.m. Open minds, open hearts, open eyes.
The L&M Radio Network and Late Night in the Midlands depends on you, the listener. Without you, there would be no us. So help us continue to bring you the best guests with the best information and subscribe today. Information on becoming an L&M subscriber can be found at the top of LateNightInTheMidlands.com. Just click the About Subscriptions tab and become part of the family while helping the truth stay alive. And while you're at it, maybe subscriptions aren't for you. A one-time donation helps as well. Click that donate button on the right side of LateNightInTheMidlands.com and help us help you.
Have you ever heard of Audible? Audible is a website with hundreds of thousands of audiobooks. They're all high quality, easy to listen to, and, best of all, if you take advantage of a special deal that we've worked out for you, you can get one for free. That's right, a free audiobook of your choice in any genre simply by going to audibletrial.com/openeyes and signing up for the free trial. It's simple to do, and it would support the shows that we bring to you, and hey, you get a free book out of the whole thing. So why not take advantage of it today? Go to audibletrial.com/openeyes and sign up for the trial. Brothers at Arms is not about being militant, though there is a time and place where that is necessary. Brothers at Arms is not about arguing, though there are times where things may get heated. Brothers at Arms is not about who is right or wrong. There are many sides to each issue. Brothers at Arms is about exploring those sides, about dealing with the issues facing us today, about coming together and, through opposing views, understanding the deeper truths that are in the middle. Join Ira Robinson and Joe Long each Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on LateNightInTheMidlands.com as these Brothers at Arms discuss what you need to know. Brothers at Arms, it's about time.
With us all kinds of people tonight here. I co-hosts here. We have Papa Bear and Skillzzz, and we have JB's on with us too. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you.
Absolutely, man.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we're getting to that point to where it is 1:30, and you know, it's July 4th, and we've talked about just, you know, all kinds of fun stuff already on our first part here, but I want to stop and I want to talk about the Cleveland Indians. Skillzzz, why don't you fill us in on how our boys up there, the Cleveland Indians, are doing?
Well, good heavens, they've really stepped up the game a little bit. They almost blew the game the other night. In the ninth inning, my goodness, they were up 11-2, I believe it was, and one of the fellas gave up 6 runs, and was like, "Are you?" That was the sloppiest ninth I've seen in a while. But anyways, they made it through it. I believe they're currently up on 3 games tied. Kansas City and Minnesota are also tied. We're up 3 games on them. These boys have to keep rolling. My concerns are with Terry Francona, the manager. He was taken out for the second time, I believe, last Tuesday, right? Jeez, oh man. For an issue, and they had a heart monitor on him. So I don't know what's going on with him. And Terry has also said in the past that he has a lot of anxiety before every game. Terry has always said that in the past. Now, his right-hand man, anytime he's been pulled out for one of the magnificent wins last week, he lifted up the Mills, and he's known Mills. Those guys have been buddies for 40 years. In other words, wherever Terry goes, Mills goes with him. Those guys have been around forever, you know. But it's well, we'll know more later, man. You know, we got Clevenger in there. Kluber is pitching awesome, and he lost a bum game, 13 strikeouts to one night. He lost that game. That was disgusting. Clevenger, the kid that they pulled up, the long-haired kid, he's really been pulling his weight, man. So there's your latest update in regards to our Cleveland Indians.
Yeah, I'm sorry I had to squeeze that in there, you know, just to, you know, get back to a little bit of normalcy there for a little bit, because you can only take so much lunacy after a while. And, you know, we'll shift gears again tonight and let, you know, Papa, I know that you have some good things going on up there. Hopefully the storms have passed and the bad weather and everything. You know, any new adventures with you this past week?
Well, I don't know. I got a little bit of a sunburn today out playing on the bike, so. But I've been hustling around getting stuff done, you know, tires and wheels and sensors and, you know, little things here and there.
Awesome. Well, that's
tying
nice.
Up loose ends.
Getting out on the bike is nice. I'm sure you enjoyed that. So that's
actually, it's got 2,100 miles on it now.
Wow.
And I said 2,100, not 21,000.
Hey, you're still out. You're still out there, and that's a good thing. So, yeah. JB, what about you, man? What do you got going on?
Oh, I've just been enjoying the holiday weekend. Had me some good eats and some good beer, and just enjoying the conversation tonight.
Well, I'll tell you, I'm right. You know, give you a little update on me. I'm right in the middle of trying to refinance. I've had a lot going on in the last month. You know, so some personal issues going on with the kids, and you know, always trying to keep them straight. And of course, you guys know what those are. And but it's always a very tough and disheartening road. But you know, if you can get them back, you know, going on the tracks and get them down the line a little bit, hopefully it works itself out. But right now, I'm in the middle. My wife and I are in the middle of trying to refinance our house, which is a task. But thank God I put in the time. I'm a veteran, so you know, I put in my time and served this country. I would do it again. I wish I was still doing it. Unfortunately, I have lupus, and everybody knows that. And of course, and I'm old, so I can't do that anymore.
Yeah, you mentioned things going on up this way, and I just remembered yesterday I was at the little store down there where I used to live, And across the road, they used to hold this thing called the Redneck Blank. It was called the Redneck Olympics, but I had a little problem with the Olympics Commission over the name, so they wound up changing it to the Redneck Blank. They've been doing it every year for the past 6 years. And I saw the owner yesterday, and he said he's got something coming up this coming weekend, like a ladies' night type of thing, you know. You got mud wrestling on Saturday, you know, and they got the bands and stuff like that. And he says, you want to work it? He says, if you want to come over, he says, you get in for free, you want to work it, I'll put you out near the gate. You can just make sure people have their wristbands and make sure they don't bring in any bottles. Give them a red Solo cup, you know, take their bottle. And, you know, you get to sit and hang out for the day, plus you make some cash. He says, come on over and see me Thursday, about lunchtime, and we'll work it all out. So, yeah, I got something to do for the weekend.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. You know, something different, you know?
Yeah, yeah. If you go to Jon Stewart, they covered that actually one year. It's called The Double Wide World of Sports. And, yeah, they do the toilet seat thing there. Toilet seat horseshoes, yeah.
Toilet seat horseshoes. Okay.
They had a bunch of stuff, but it was pretty stupid, you know. But it's a lot of fun. Well, they drive through the mud. They got mudding down there. They're going to have mud wrestling next weekend. But, and of course the bands and all that stuff, you know. So it's pretty entertaining. But I'd be sitting at home. I remember my mother sitting in the living room. 3 days of bass bliss when they did that, you know. I mean, oh yeah. And it kept it right up until midnight. Right up until midnight.
Well, as tomorrow, you know, there's going to be a lot of fireworks and everything. And of course, you know, that always poses a little bit of danger and everything. So I hope everybody acts responsible. One more thing while we're at it, okay? There are a lot of veterans out there, and I know, you know, if you have a neighbor and you know he's a combat vet, you know, don't go blowing off an M80 near his house.
Yeah, don't do that.
Okay.
Do not do that.
Yeah, you know, that's just, it's inconsiderate, it's stupid. Don't do that, all right? They've been through enough. So, you know, give them a break, okay? Go on down the street or something like that. Go away from their house. Give them some respect. Give them some peace and quiet. I'm pretty sure they deserve it, okay? Yeah. You know, have some common sense. And be careful yourself, too, okay? Don't, you know, no one's not telling you not to celebrate. It's not what we're saying. We're just saying do it in an appropriate manner. Be smart. Don't hurt yourself. Don't hurt others. Be responsible, exactly. And, of course, that always goes with drinking, too. There's no excuse whatsoever. I don't care how you put it to me. With Uber out there, with free rides, with free taxi service, with free everything, if you get busted with the DUI, okay, or something else, you're stupid. Do you understand? You're stupid. And that's because there's too many services out there that are volunteering on days like today, you know, 4th of July, New Year's, stuff like that, offering to give you a ride home. Your car will be okay. It's just a piece of machinery. But that piece of machinery with you behind the wheel drunk can hurt other people and yourself. Take the ride. Get a ride. Okay?
Like the first thing the old man taught me, Michael, when he would take me up on Sunday mornings, this is like in 1976 when I was 12 years old, up to Great Northern Boulevard, the movie theater, everything was closed, especially early in the mornings on Sundays. I'd be driving the 71 Skylark around in circles. And the old man always told me, he says, remember, this is a loaded gun. That's what he told me.
Absolutely.
You're driving a loaded gun, and watch your blind spots. That's what I always told the kids.
Absolutely. That's a great analogy. It's a great analogy. It's factual and accurate. So, you know.
When I was a kid, my uncle handed my cousin and I a .22 and said, go up behind the garage and shoot each other.
Great.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lesson there.
That's how you learn. Go up behind the garage and shoot each other.
PPE, personal protective equipment, yes. Might require some safety glasses, yeah.
Yeah.
Not Kevlar. full body. Get the frick out of here.
Oh, that was a single shot bolt action. We were happy when my brother brought over a 16 shot semi-automatic. That was fun.
That gives you time to run away. Single bolt action. Yeah. Hey, I got time to run. Crap.
And here's another thing. Hey. Nobody has any business using guns, weapons of any type. If you've had beer or any type of medication or anything else, don't be stupid. You know, we'll be more than happy to tag your toe.
I had anger issues, and my uncle was hoping he would have shot me and killed me because my uncle didn't like me at all.
He was hoping natural selection would take place there.
Well, because my grandmother liked me so much, you know, and he was jealous, and, you know, hey, yeah, he's getting too much attention. We got to take him out.
You were a tool, weren't you?
Wow.
Let them take each other out here. Go out behind the garage and play.
God, good no.
Well, you hope
I had a very loving family.
You know, you hope on days like this that, you know, people use common sense, but somehow or another the stupidity bleeds through, and you're like, oh, geez. You know, you can only rub your forehead and just, how? Why?
And, you know, and I think about this, all the stuff I suffered through as a kid growing up, how I turned out the way I am today is well beyond me. I don't know. But, hey, fortunately, I never had any kids. You know, that shit probably would have rubbed off from me on, you know.
Papa knew when not to procreate.
That's right. I watched what my parents went through. I figured, nah, I'm all set.
Yeah, Papa, you and I have spoken about this, and that means that your job is to watch your nieces and nephews, and that becomes right. your
yeah. There's your procreation right there. And,
and
of course, when they turn out rotten, you say, "I knew that was a bad idea."
Hey, not my kid.
Yeah,
no kid.
Will you babysit for me? We're having a bad connection.
Yeah.
That's
oh, man. My niece and I were inseparable. I mean,
you know, there's going to be a lot of travel going on, so just have a good time tomorrow. Be safe. That's all we're saying. Okay? That's it. Enough of that. And we will move on. And I know North Olmsted had their fireworks. They went off the other night. I was paying attention to that. Lake Murray's fireworks will commence, I believe. I'm not sure if it was tonight or tomorrow night. I'm sure it'll be one of those. We'll know more later as I read about it. I really don't, I don't get too much anymore into going into big crowds. You know, one of those things that you bring up that we had another... Yeah, we had another tragedy that happened. Somebody drove into a crowd again with the car. I mean...
With a taxi.
Yeah, you know, and I start to wonder why, you know, this is happening so much, and this has become the new mode of how to injure people. You just wish people would figure out what's a great mode to help each other. You know, I hope we can get past everything and we can start to do that, but... We'll know more later, as Skillzzz always says.
And there's your example of that rolling death deal, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much where I was headed down that road. But so, what are the plans for tomorrow, everybody? I know that my neighbor is planning on having something, but we're supposed to have a heat index of 104, which yeah, you know, that's not fun.
I got to throw this one in here in regards to Papa's line. It's Papa's line. We will indeed successfully know more later. That goes along.
That's right.
Well, who's going to win? Going to win this game tonight? Well, I don't know. I can go either way. And always remember, like I tell all the baseball fans, there's one game you have to win. That's the most important. That is the last game of the entire season, period. Just win that. Just win one game. Just win that. You're good to go.
yeah, that pretty much. I mean, at least you go out on a winning note. That's it. So, well, we
in the
have,
game that gets you the ring.
you know, this year, last time at this year, we were talking about something, and I remembered this, and I believe it was right around this time. We had a list back then during all this election stuff, and we wanted to get away from it, and we started talking about the people that we lost, the different actors.
That
and the
was
different
around
things.
Christmas time, yeah.
Okay, I wasn't sure if it was, during.
Yeah, it was right as we closed up the year. People who had passed the year before, and I neglected to mention Lavoy Finicum.
Yes,
Yeah.
and okay, so I stand corrected. I'm about 6 months off. Anyway, yeah, good for me.
Good for you.
Yeah.
All
This year, some of the greatest musical talent. We lost a lot of great musical talent this year. And I was just like, I was looking at this and I was thinking about it and I was like, oh my gosh,
We're only halfway through it.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
well, Michael, was it this year or last year we lost keyboardist from Pink Floyd? Was it earlier this year? Was it last year?
Last
I believe.
last year we lost, wasn't it Emerson, Lake and Palmer's?
Yes.
Yeah, that
Keith
was
Emerson.
Yeah, that was last year. This year,
Palmer, out of those five.
this year we lost Joe Crocker, and
Joe Cocker.
And of course,
Cocker.
out of
We lost him.
Audio Slave and Soundgarden.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, and boy, that was heartbreaking.
Wow.
Yeah, that was just heartbreaking.
it's
And
that city, man. That's the worst.
I tell you, and this country is experiencing a very, very high suicide rate. Now, I'm not just talking about veterans. I'm talking all the way around. It just seems like it's so high, and there's so much despair.
Yeah.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping.
There's been a bunch of assisted suicide lately too.
Yeah, there's definitely something along the way. I'm hoping we can curb it.
Yeah.
I mean, whew.
People fishing in the wrong ponds. They're looking for the wrong fish.
Well, guys,
Yeah.
looking back at one of our shows with Peter Kling, a couple back, we helped one guy out, and that show turned into it. And Easter Sunday, I helped out a kid in the morning. He wanted to check out, and I just caught his post on Facebook, and I IM'd him with my phone number, and he went across the street to a surfer naut's place who lived across the street, and he called me, and I was on the phone with him for about 45 minutes. So apparently, hopefully, he is currently he's been doing good. He's been doing good. So
45 minutes.
You hear that, man? You can't blow it off, man. You got to get on it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: when you hear that, you read it. It's entirely up to you to jump in head first and do your best to take care of the situation. Because if you blow that off, then whatever.
I have a difficult time with that because 45 minutes, dude. When I hung up the phone, I would have been passed out on the bed.
Now, I'm going to tell you,
It would have drained me.
doing that, there's been times I spent probably anywhere from 4 to 6 hours on Christmas Day with one. And I was on the phone. And, of course, Judy was there, and she understood. And very troubled individual. But he just wanted to be heard. He wanted somebody to talk to him and know that somebody was there. Okay?
Right.
And, not feel alone.
Right.
And a lot of it is pretty much that. And you got to listen to them really carefully. And you have to answer the call. And I think that there are certain people put into this world to do that, to watch over our brothers and sisters. And that's what we're supposed to do. And, if you don't do that, man, what do you say? Oh, man, I saw him call me, but I didn't answer.
Yeah.
That's all it takes. It only takes.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda. And how long are you going to beat yourself up for that?
The hardest part is to listen to them and quickly, as if at all possible, to consolidate to the best of your ability their issues and where they're faulty, and then turn that around and just make it happen. All right, because when you catch that, man, guess what? I'm not going to hold you responsible, you know. However, if you can turn that person's life around, man, I'm sorry, you got to get on it. You got to get on it now.
And you might not always be successful, okay? There's no guarantee on any of that, but I will tell you this. The thing that you're doing at that point is you have decided to step into a boxing ring. You are fighting for their life when they have given up the fight, and they have nothing left to fight for. It is now your fight. Okay?
Yeah.
And it might be temporary until they can clear themselves or get some rest. So all you're doing is, I always tell them, I'm fending the demon off at the gate. You get some rest. Let me take this fight for you for a little bit while you rest. Let's get clear-headed here.
Right.
And that's it.
Michael he'll do his best to pull the weight off of your shoulders, plumb you up to the best of his ability, and then it's up to you. It's obviously up to you. However, that's our job. I'm sorry. I'm not even going to call it a job. It's like an obligation. It's a conscientious obligation.
It's a calling.
To do the best in your ability to make things happen.
That's absolutely.
That's all I can tell you.
And I try to tell them all the same thing. And it doesn't matter who it is. Okay, and I say, listen, and I always go back to this because it is so true. If I don't carry you today, who's going to carry me tomorrow if I'm in need?
Yep.
How can I expect that?
Yep.
So, try to have that empathy, sympathetic, loving, charitable gift. Try to have that because it's important, okay? And it's more important than you can ever possibly know. So, take that into consideration. But anyway, shifting gears again, I was talking a little bit about refinancing and how much fun that this is.
It's a laugh a minute, I'm sure.
You have to. They basically will go back on your credit report and they look at anything that you had on there negative, and you have to give an explanation for it. Fortunately for me, because I have so much lupus stuff on there and everything else, and I was on so much medication and different times I was sick, I can explain some of
what's bullshit is they hold medical against you. I always have a problem with that on credit reports. That's all bullshit.
Yeah, that's turned into a business as to where it shouldn't. And, frankly, I think that we do need to change the healthcare in this country. I don't know what's the best way. I really don't. I don't know if it's just overhauling what is there now or coming up with something new. But we have to have something that is in place that's going to take care of, it's going to be all-inclusive of regardless if you already have a health problem or not. Okay? I want to make sure that everybody's taken care of equally. When we start deciding this group's better than this group or this group and this group, that's not, it's no longer healthcare. Now we're talking business. Right. Healthcare is just that.
Right. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
And I've seen it happen in other places where people will pay a certain doctor a certain amount per month, and they're covered for all their healthcare stuff, and then anything catastrophic is a different policy.
Right.
You bypass the insurance,
I'm seeing a lot more of that. I'm seeing that in dentist's office too, and everything else, and with healthcare. And I think some of these doctors are really taking it upon themselves and getting smart and saying, listen, you pay me a monthly fee, okay? Pay me a monthly fee. You come on down here. I don't care how many times you come on down here. Come on down here. If you're sick or whatever, and we'll take care of that. If you start to need some extensive tests, we'll include that in a monthly fee or do something like that. I don't think that's a bad idea, or we can have something to where it's a yearly fee and you come on down, but something
whatever
to protect
works.
you. Yeah, whatever works, it's going to protect you and protect your family. Because if you have a child, here's my perfect example. You have a child, and that child becomes ill. It becomes sick. Okay? I can tell you and I know, Papa, you don't have kids, but you could imagine, even if it were a niece or a nephew, and that child's sick, and all of a sudden you see parents so strapped financially from other obligations and other things that they could lose everything. Nobody should have to lose a damn thing to save a life. I'm sorry. You're not supposed to have to buy your life here, okay? We're supposed to take care of each other. And it should not be a business. It should not. Okay?
Right.
We're paying basketball players $207 million or 204.
It's insanity.
And we are so, I mean, I'm sorry, it's mind-boggling because he can dribble a basketball. And no offense to you, Stephen Curry, but then I look at a doctor who, you know, he's taking care of a family and everything, but he's saving a life. Since when is your three-point shot more important than a child?
I'll tell you when. It's when the big boys say, give them circuses, keep them preoccupied so they don't see what we're doing.
Don't watch the left hand.
It's worth every penny we pay them.
I'm working with the right. Yep, it does. It comes down to that. We are so skewed. You know.
Oh, yeah.
And it's gotten to the point. It's gotten to the point where eventually it's going to cave in upon itself. There's no way. No way it can go.
It's going to implode.
Yeah, it's going to implode.
Any time now.
Yeah. And they will sell you on the idea, well, I get paid that much because I only have a small amount of time to do that. If you get sick, like I am sick, of course I'm lucky. Mine's in remission again, and I'm thankful for that. Thank you, God. But I only have a small amount of time to work if you got sick. If you have cancer, you have an even smaller amount of time to live than what you do playing basketball. Don't sell me that crap. I don't want to hear it. It's apples and oranges, and it doesn't even compare. Life is different than sports, and I'm sorry, but I don't think there's an athlete out there that deserves over $1 million. I'm sorry. I don't agree. They need to have these guys and cap them, and that's it. If you can't live off of that, and you've all shown poor response on living off of that anyway by doing drugs and everything else, and you can't behave yourselves.
Hey, how many kids are going to make it on a ball team?
Right. One just left town. But yeah, go ahead.
No, but think about it, though.
Exactly. I mean, the same amount of people that make it in Hollywood.
But it is slave masters just putting it out there so that they can entertain the thought to other people to have them look and say, I want that too. It brings millions more kids that'll come up to make them money in the future. I mean, that's why they're doing it.
Yeah.
No, they're doing it because we have made it possible. I remember back in the day, JB, the first $1 million sports. Do you remember that, Skillzzz? You remember we were young and all of a sudden they had the first $1 million sports figure or whatever at that time?
Oh, yeah. That's a fantastic question. In regards to that, do you recall who that might be? I have to look it up.
I remember it, and I do not recall, but I'm going to tell you, I thought back then, wow, $1 million. Oh my God!
Yeah.
Times 200 now.
It's like, think about this though. They go in there and they pay off all these millions to their players and all that stuff, and who knows how much the owners make and the administrators and all that, right, and the board. But who pays for the stadium?
Taxpayers.
Well, the big thing is they make a whole lot of money off of concessions. If I look at back in the Dolas, in regards to the Indians going to the World Series this year, tons of money made off of concessions. I was impressed that they signed Miller early last year, and then Carcione from Toronto this year at like $10 million a shot, I believe it is. You know, and that's a lot of that's concessions, man. You'd be surprised at how much they bring in regards to that.
The taxpayers pay for those stadiums, and then they have to pay for the entertainment held in them. Okay. Welcome to America.
And the one thing I like about the Green Bay Packers is that they are a team that's actually the public does have a minute amount of control over that.
Yeah, ownership.
doing a great team. I love it. I wish every city was like that.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. We own them. Yeah, that's it. We'll decide what their raise will be or what their salary cap's going to be. And until we get smart and we do that, I just no. I'm sorry. I couldn't agree with anyone if you compare a sports figure to somebody that's in the medical field or somebody that's an ambulance driver.
I know that's.
It just doesn't make it doesn't make sense, and I'm sorry, and we're so skewed in our thinking that we created this mess. Again, another thing that we have to. I'm making a list. Somebody get me out paper and pencil. There's some things we need to fix.
Well, yeah, right, Mike. You're correct, man. It's like you have people that run around saving lives for $20 an hour, $16 an hour, EMTs. Maybe 22, which is chicken shit. That's $44,000 on a 40-hour work week at $22 an hour. And then you got these guys, man. Yeah, I hear you, man. I can't complain on it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's just one of those things that really always bothered me, and it makes me sick. And
these guys that work at McDonald's want to make $30,000.
Yeah, right. And you have EMTs working for $32,000. Yeah, really?
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Well, no. Here's the thing, because when you're an EMT, you are held accountable.
Oh,
you are highly held accountable, as opposed to giving you a burger where I forgot to throw ketchup and pickles on that bastard.
Listen, some of those guys, as Hunter said, have to pay for their own training and a lot of their own stuff in order to maintain the status that they have. They have to do seminars. Okay, so
great training. Yeah, I do that. Michael, but CPR, I go through it every year.
Absolutely,
that changes as well.
You want your
those guys are paid heroes.
Yeah, absolutely they are, and they're not paid enough. And that's the sad part about it. And I saw up in Ohio took over as number 1 for that opioid problem, and they took it over from West Virginia. And I was just like, wow, what's going on? Has it really gotten that bad up there, Skillzzz?
Apparently so, man. I mean, I don't know all the facts, the stats. I didn't look them up, but it's been insane, and that's just heroin. Introducing fentanyl, that's like a magnification factor, man.
Killing people.
Do we have a cleansing?
Killing them.
Is that what we're doing? Are we doing are we unaware of a possible cleansing that we've got going on right now?
No, it's good sense. I think that makes good sense is what they're trying to do. They're literally putting something out there that's highly addictive, and now it's being laced, and it's killing people.
Listen, they've been dumbing us down for years, okay? Between the fluoride and this, that, and the other. I mean, my father learned how to read a slide rule. There wasn't that much. It wasn't much that man couldn't do. I mean, he was an engineer before I was born, and an electrician, electronics tech, So the dumbing down started off in phases, and now they're really kicking it in pretty hard. But back then they had an education. Today you're not going to get one. You're never going to get an education. You'll get indoctrination, and that's it.
And the scary part about all of this are the dealers, man. Because if they put out a couple products, and there is a website which these people, they try these products, even though they're pretty much homeless, have a way throughout their cell phones to say, hey, man, I got this particular product from this particular individual, which is all stamped on the product. And, man, it was just awesome. And what they go after, when they hear about people ODing, that's like a prize. That's a prize.
Oh, yeah.
And then the rest of the customers want that product that people have OD'd on. Because, and the mentality behind them, now I'm going to tell you how this works, all right? Listening, and I've been watching a lot of documentaries, is that they look at it this way. If I pass over, I'm high, and I'll just pass over. They don't care. They don't care.
Well, they're feeding off of our kids.
Strikes it out. That's a whole. Go ahead.
Yeah, they're feeding off of our children, and it seems like the children are really paying a high price these days between them disappearing, between the drugs and everything else. I mean, and you know, now our generation is becoming. We're falling into the elderly. You know, we'll admit it. We're like middle-aged to a step ahead of middle-aged. Okay, so we're falling into that category. And now fewer and fewer people, you know, we reward people for not being married today. Okay, tax-wise.
Where?
We do that.
No, we don't.
Bull crap.
No, we don't.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do.
No, we don't. Dude, I've been single. Don't.
Let me tell you something. My son's getting ready to have a baby, and I'm going to tell you.
There you go. Right there, the baby.
That's right.
Earned income credit.
Well, that's
single. You just blew the whole single argument right out of the window.
No, when I say single, I'm telling you not married. Again. Not married, Papa. That's you chose
I'm
single.
talking
single.
No dependents.
If you were if you had a girlfriend living together, you actually are going to be better off than what I am living with Judy married. That's a fact. That's not a made up statistic. That's a fact.
As long as you got some sort of dependent to stuff on that tax form, you're golden. Without that dependent, forget it. You're done. Done like stick a fork in you.
Well, that's because listen. You're single. There's a difference. I'm talking about not being married. When I say single, I mean people living together and having kids, not being married. It's better for them. And it's on, I don't care what tax form you pull out or anything else, because one of them can turn around and claim, okay, for the child, one of them turn around and claim for Medicaid, for the dependent thing and everything else. Yeah. When you start doing it married, now you've risen up in your tax bracket. Okay, there's a huge difference. Okay,
and
I'm not talking single about
families.
You because you're single. Okay, I mean that as for people that aren't married, living together, child. So I'll elaborate on that a little bit more. Otherwise, you're like Papa, and well.
Yeah. No, believe me, I've never had a year where I benefited from that at all. Never.
No, I that's not what I mean though. I'm in a whole different ballpark here, bud. Whole different ballpark. So
yeah. Yeah, let's go down that road. Yeah.
Well, Michael.
That's the truth. I'm telling you, if you don't believe me, you look it up yourself.
No, that's part of the incentive to break up the family.
That's right. I'm just telling you what's true. You don't have to take my word for it. Go look it up. You will find out I am right. And I
don't doubt it. I've got cousins who divorced because of the incentives.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
They got married on the last day of the year for the tax benefits, But, and you find out a couple of years later, what is better if we just split up? They get divorced and still live together,
But I think they're going to change the tax code, or Trump wants to try to change the tax code, which is going to change that. And I'm hoping it does. For married couples, the deductions are supposed to double now, as opposed to where it wasn't before.
Yeah.
So hopefully that changes. If we can get the tax code changed a little bit and straightened out and bring it back to, we got to bring the family back, man. You got to bring the family back. We need to do
a lot of things have got to happen.
Yeah. How do you go about that?
Things have got to happen.
No, that's a fantastic idea. But good heavens, man. And everything started going to crap back in the 70s, where all of a sudden, because I recall the days when we could show you on our street all the divorced couples. That was taboo.
That's right.
Yeah, 4 or 5 divorces on one street. And man,
remember
and
the divorced women were hot to trot.
Oh, hold on. People laugh at me when I said when you were a kid, there was a divorced family. You walked down the sidewalk, and they laughed when I said you walked out of the sidewalk into the street, around their house, back on the sidewalk. And they say, "Oh, that's bull crap." That blah, 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 blah. No, it wasn't.
Yeah.
That's how taboo that was back then.
That's right.
That was fact. That's
Yep.
right. That was absolute fact back then. That's just how it was. And
Divorced women were hot to trot. That was their reputation. If they were divorced, they were hot to trot. Didn't matter what the circumstances were.
I watched guys on the street, man, looking back at him. Well, one particular guy, he'd take his dog out for a normal walk at night, and he'd disappear over to the neighbor's house about 8 houses down for a little bit and go home.
Yeah.
Unbelievable, man. Really?
Oh.
But, yep. Yeah, buddy.
Yeah, a whole different. It's a whole different world. But we do. We need to bring the family back. We talk about this all the time. I'm a big promoter of that. It's important. It really is. And it's.
What do you recommend in regards to that? That's my question.
Well, I think is what we have to do is really our biggest problem is the churches. We have now decided, all these churches have decided, okay, well, we'll accept this, we'll accept that, we'll accept this. And, we keep switching our positions, okay? And pretty much anymore, we don't have, and I'm not saying we should have listen, forgiveness is the biggest part of human. We need to have that. But a lot of divorces happen now because, well, frankly, and I hate to say this, people get bored and they want to be with somebody else, and that's what it is. Yeah, well, it's like a higher form of fornication. And
the biggest crap is, I fell out of love with him, right? So they go into court, the gal gets custody of the kids, and then the guy takes the beat. She might have been an infidel over that point in time, but don't want to hear it. Dude takes the beat, man.
Not always. Not always. Believe me, not always. You have a responsibility to kids. That's kind of a whole different thing. What I'm saying is we don't give the kids haven't said they want to play around. Okay? They want the ice cream that's in this bucket, and then, hey, look at this. Hey, we got a new flavor over here. Okay? That's what a lot of this really is. And because this ice cream, well, it's melted a little bit and this and that, and it still tastes good, but it's not as chocolatey or as vanilla or Superman tasting as what this ice cream is. And then they go on.
Then start playing the kids against the parents. That's the horrifying part. They're tools.
Oh yeah. Weapons.
I think it's safe to look at them.
The worst part about it is, I'm your best friend. Hey, follow me. And the old man piss on him, and he's got this going on and that going on. And at what is it, age 14, they can decide who they want to live with?
Here's my philosophy on this thing, okay? You have to know that you're ready to do it, and you're prepared. And if you're not, don't even go there.
No, a lot of churches will offer a course like my employer, for example. Him and his wife went through this course together. It's a marriage course, and before they got married. And it was probably one of the best things that they've done because I've watched them go through a lot of heartache and I've watched them go through things, but they always stick it out together. The problem is imagine a husband handing a wife a rock, or vice versa, a wife handing a husband a rock and saying, I want you to hold this for 32 years. Just hold it. Stick your arm straight on out and put this 3-pound rock in your hand. Okay? And then one of them is not taking into consideration the other one, and eventually the one holding the rock, if they're going to feel like, why the hell am I holding this damn thing? And they turn around and they drop the rock. Well, guess what? There's your marriage. Okay? You have to take the time. to understand that there's going to be good and bad in every marriage. You're going to see them at their worst points. They're going to see you at your worst points. And if you look at yourself like you're the better one in the relationship, well, you're an a-hole. Okay, I mean, you know.
Would it be safe to say is that a marriage is supposed to be two people walking side by side, not one in front of the other?
That's right.
Too many problems that you see with these younger people have to do with what I like to call the cell phone phenomena. If they have a crack in the screen, they want a new one. They don't want to take it in. They don't want to get the screen fixed and keep the same thing. They want a new one. Yes. If there's any type of imperfection or anything that is considered in their minds a breakdown, they don't want to work through it. That's what I'm saying is they don't look down the road. They're looking 15 minutes ahead. Like, hey, if this doesn't go the way I want it, I'm jumping ship. Like, this is the problem. People don't have that idea that you have to put in and make it work. You know, they just give up. They just turn their back and run away.
Always remember, for that individual that wants to jump ship, the grass is greener on the other side till it turns brown. Always keep that in mind.
Yeah.
That's why I'm a firm believer. If they want to go and test the waters, let them go. You know why? Because last I checked, the ocean gets pretty rough out there. You know, and if they have to have some type of a shipwreck before they realize I had something better. Why did I ever leave?
Well, part of it is you have to understand too. You're always walking next to your spouse. You know, and I guess so. But when I look at it, my spouse and I are one. So there should only be one set of footprints, and that's us walking together. Okay. And I look at it as I'm very blessed. Is Judy neurotic and crazy and everything else? Yeah, about the same as me. You know, so
don't think about the crazy ones.
Yeah, and you know, we both have our flaws. We both understand our flaws. But she's a person that I chose. That, you know what? Despite whatever we have. That is not the most polished piece of gold looking at the other one. It's us.
You can work at it.
Yeah, when I go to bed at night, she's taking 50% of my problems. I'm taking 50% of her worries. You know, and together we're able to conquer those worries and, you know, work through all this stuff together. And that's what we're supposed to do. And we've done this with our kids, and we could have parted ways, but you know what? To me, it's those special things that she does. Every morning, that woman brings me coffee. Every single morning. For some reason, she has taken it upon herself to go on downstairs and throw coffee on. A lot of times, I'll throw it on the night before and turn on the delay brew or whatever. But she'll go down and she'll get it, okay? Because that's one of the things that she does. Now, by the time she gets home, I try to have dishes done, the cat boxes scooped, or the different things that, you know, like do my own laundry, and I fold my own laundry and put away my own laundry. I do all that stuff to alleviate burdens for her. I'm supposed to be working for her. She's supposed to be working for me. We work together, and we accomplish everything.
Right.
You don't have that today. You have selfishness today, okay? And you know what? If you're a selfish person, the other one is not going to want your ugly fat butt climbing all over him in the middle of the night, coming at him like an angry polar bear, okay? It ain't going to happen, all right?
Now, here is your psychological dictionary in regards to the term pleasure principle. And what that is pleasure now. No matter what the price.
Yeah, and it is. You know, you see him tired, do yourself a favor. Take the rock. Say, hey, listen, you know what? I'll hold this for a while. It's cool. I got it. And you just don't have that today. It's too easy for people to give up.
I like to call it teamwork is dream work. You know, teamwork makes the dream work. Because two people have to work together for the greater good.
Absolutely, and that's what it's for. It's for the greater good. It's for both of you, and it depends on how you look. You know, if you already have the outlook, with Judy and I have always had this vision that And people will tell me I'm crazy. That's not how it works. I don't care what you believe. I care about what I believe. So for me, I am hoping that, and people might tell me I'm crazy on this. I don't really care. But if I die, I want to see her again. I want to be in heaven with her. I want to spend more time with her. I don't look at it as till death do us part and then I'll go find me somebody else. I'm not looking at it like that. I'm looking at it as, listen, this is my life partner. Not just life here on earth, but my life partner. And I want to spend more time. This is too short down here. Can I spend more time? Am I allowed to spend more time? And that's kind of how I look at it. I know a lot of people believe that heaven is going to be, well, everyone will be up there and they'll be like brothers and sisters and friends and there's nothing but love and everything like that. You know what? That's great if that's what you want to believe. That's your belief. But you haven't been there. I haven't been there. So until I'm there, I guess that question won't be answered. Now,
Michael, as time goes on, all right, you have children or grandchildren as well. What's interesting that unfolds is you become, it's not so much just a relationship. You become kid cops. So you have to oversee this whole adventure that you and your girl, or perhaps, well, for me, it's myself and my girl. For you, it's a little different. You have, excuse me, you're a kid cop, man. So now you have to oversee that.
When you have that first kid, you change.
You do.
Oh,
you do change.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It opens up a whole nother dimension, okay? Let's face it, most of the people on this earth, they think 2D, okay? You get some people that think 3D.
This is comical scenario. Now I'm going to tell you why that changes the first kid, because guess what? You no longer have the boobs because the kids are breastfed. Yeah, it changes.
See, I never went through that change.
Well, it's one of those things, and I guess for you, and there's a lot of people out there, Papa, that are single and happy enough, or never had kids, or something else, and they are happy enough. For me, I've always envisioned having somebody at my side to share my life with. Okay, to share the memories with. I didn't want to do it by myself. I wanted somebody to say, wow, check this out, and do that. And it's okay if you don't, because for some people that is perfectly, that's how they want their life to be. And I'm not going to fault that. That's certainly not my job to do that. I just never imagined. I looked at Judy as something that I wanted to continue on. And
yeah,
that's
the way I looked at it. I didn't look at it as something temporary,
This becomes the tough part. This becomes the tough part, because you have to groom the kids to the best within your ability. Not only you're not done yet now, see, because now it's up to them to carry on throughout their existence, meeting mates that they shall indeed mate with. All right, now you have to watch your girls hind on, and she has to watch yours as you grow old, man. And that's a whole brand new program. But still, while that's unfolding, you're concerned over your kids. No, kids. No, it's graduated. You have to watch over the grandkids as well, because you feel worried over the grandkids as opposed to your own kids.
Oh,
it gets crazy.
It's a never-ending bear trap. Okay, you are walking through a bear trap field, because once you have that first child, okay, and kids are tough, man. It's no easy thing raising children. It's very tough. It's time-consuming, it's money-consuming, and you're constantly on watch, because now you have to watch everything. I mean, not just one or two things, You're watching everything. I've got to watch where you go, so you're not jeopardizing your family, and you're sitting there trying to protect them. You're watching everything that they do. I mean, it is such a big worry. But
you created an empire that you have to oversee.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And you know what?
And
You don't know if you're a good king or a bad king. And that's really what it is. You
Well,
just
wait,
don't
like-
know.
and life taught me early that no one is dependable. You can't count on anyone.
No, see, for you,
And that followed me like a gray cloud over my head all my life, and it continues to this day.
well, you suck.
Well, I know that. Jeez. I need you to remind me, right?
You know,
Good heavens. Wow, and out.
no, I
Yeah, but I
Kid
suck
Papa.
solo.
Yeah, I know, and that's okay. And you know, I always joke around with you, and that's okay. You know, for me, I love being able to know that you know, I could be down and out. I mean, there was times where I was so sick, and Judy was, you know, helping me change or, you know, go about my day, and I thought, this girl took me on knowing that I had lupus, knowing that I had problems. Maybe I'd have a shortened life, with nothing to gain.
Right.
Nothing to gain but one thing: love. That was it. That was it, man. That was the selling point right there. You see?
Right.
It was, there's nothing for her to gain except for possible heartache and everything else, but she only wanted to be with me.
Right.
There it is, you know?
Yeah.
It's no love.
In a nutshell, there it is. That's the difference. So, you know, my indebtedness to her and my love for her because of the way she feels like that is so overwhelming. I mean, I just, man, she gets my soul, and that's it. And it drives me. And I'll tell you what, I think it's helped heal me. I honestly believe it's something that has changed me as a man, has changed me as a person. Hopefully I'm doing better and I'm living up to her expectations. And that's the other thing. You should be living up to your spouse's expectations. Okay? Try to you know, fill their needs, fill the things that they chose you. And you're going to bail? You're going to quit?
Yeah.
And you're going to find somebody else, and then you're going to, well, I don't know what went wrong, but you're going to take those problems into another marriage or into something else. It's never going to right itself. That's just the way I look at it.
Built-in kids and that scenario. I recall back in the day when I knew my wife, but there was a gal. I wouldn't even classify as dating her, but I had seen her from time to time. My wife now, back in the day. This is going back at, oh man, it's like late '83, you know, and you know, she had a kid, and she was about 4 years old. And I'll tell you what, there were words of advice my mother had given me. She says, whatever you do, you know, as you being a young punk kid, do not get involved in an already made family, period. And I didn't.
No. Well, you know, and that's the thing too, okay? I look at this, there's something that we have between us that's the most important thing. I have a hierarchy, and I follow it to a T. Jesus Christ, God Almighty first. Then my spouse, okay? God put us together as one. So we are one. We follow under his rule, okay? And then my children. Now, she's not going to put her children or my children before each other. We can't effectively lead if the kids are ahead of us.
Yeah.
It's our job to lead them, to guide them. So you got to have that. Then, of course, you have your family, because no matter what, they're going to stick their nose in everything. Okay? Just the normal thing that happens. And then everything else will kind of fall into place, you know, down the line there. But you got to have those first two steps. If you don't have that, and I could tell you that's the biggest problem with marriages and everything failing today. You have a man and a woman, okay, and they can both believe in God, but somewhere along the line they've got it skewed and something got mixed up. They no longer, the wife is like overprotective with the kids, and she's like, you're not going to treat my baby like that. And then all of a sudden you got the husband and the wife fighting because of the kids, and the kid's like a little wedge in there, and he's just pounding it harder because he can get his way with mama or with daddy, and it's created this wedge. The kid's not a wedge. Beat the kid's ass, move onward, okay, and let him know, no, I'm following with what your mother said, and we're sticking together. That's what you got to do. And if you have that game plan, I mean, if you get torn apart from in the middle, what did you expect? What did you expect?
One thing, Michael, I had heard looking at some of the young guys I work with is that if you're a stepfather, you cannot, do not physically discipline any one of those or children, I should say, because that's not going to be good in your favor.
Well, I think that's kind of a crock of crap. First of all, I'll tell you why. Okay, kids are what they are. They're called kids. They're children. Okay, you're an adult. If a woman takes you on and you have 3 kids, or you take on a woman and she has whatever many kids, okay, you know what you're getting. You know what you're getting ahead of time. You've decided to live a life together. Again, all right, you know, I'm counting on you both being decent people, okay, and not, you know, abusers or anything like that. But
Michael here. Yeah.
But at the same time, I tell the kids here, you know, I've been told everything. Well, you're not my dad. Well, you're not this.
Right.
And you're not that. And I always come back and I tell them, if somebody breaks into this house in the middle of the night and they mean to do harm to any one of the family members here, should I make sure that I protect the kids that, you know, are right down the hall because those are my kids? And, well, you know, I'm sorry, you're on the bottom floor, closest to the front door where they broke in. Should I not protect you? If I am going to put my life on the line and love you equally, okay? Love you as my child, care for you, feed you, clothe you, house you, guide you, protect you. It doesn't matter to me. You putting the word step on there, as in stepfather or father,
right,
is up to you. How you choose to have that relationship, that's entirely up to you. You don't have to be a blood relative to me for me to love you as a father. I'm going to do my job. I expect you to do your job. Okay? And follow the rules and do that. That's the only way to guide them, okay?
Right.
Anything short of that, you're going to fail. But you have to do it in the it won't change the order. Jesus Christ, God Almighty first, then your spouse, and then the kids. You know that going into it to begin with. If you have the same ideology that I have, and of course, you know, Judy and I share that.
So what happens when they say that and you point out where they're not doing it?
Oh, if they're not doing it, like or if they're
no, God first.
If they're not doing it,
yeah,
go back and reevaluate. Then you've either lost your way somewhere
along the
line.
God is not a respecter of persons, right?
What's that?
God is not a respecter of persons, right?
Well,
it says that in the Bible.
I think that you have to. First of all, you're going to find people that, for some other reason,
I'm not looking for excuses. God is not a respecter of persons. It says it in the Bible.
Okay, and what's your
Period.
point? So what's your point?
My point was, well, why would you want to be a person if God doesn't respect one?
Are you not childlike? Are you not godlike? made in His creation, in His image.
Are you a person?
Yeah,
I claim to be a person.
Where
I might be wrong, assuming that the kids aren't going to jackpot you in regards to your thinking.
I still don't know where you're going with it. I don't understand where.
I'm going to the bottom line. I'm going to the person.
Listen,
God is not a respecter of persons. Quote. So,
show me.
If you claim to be a person,
I challenge.
you are not
bullshit.
asking for any respect from God. You're not putting Him first on your list.
Show me. Lucky for me, I keep my Bible right next to me.
Good.
Pull it up. Where's it at?
Oh, boy.
If you say it, I'm going to call you on it, baby. I got mine right here. I'm ready.
Yep.
That'll give you something to go with.
Here we go.
So, which do you have? King James Version?
Of course I do.
Good. Then go to James 2:1.
All right, hang on. I'm going to add one to the call here.
Yeah.
Hopefully it adds.
How about Acts 10:34?
Acts 10:34. We shall do it.
Oh, it's 5 men, and it's Christopher.
It's Tom.
Hi, Tom. How are you?
Hello.
There we go. Hello.
There you are.
Yeah, the first call I've done on my updated Skype on my phone, and everything's changed.
Oh, I got a catwalk on the keyboard.
Michael has to look this up anyways. What's going on, brother?
Not a lot.
Where's my axe?
I've been taking notes the whole show, wanting to put my opinion on everything, but there's just too much now.
Oh, give it a shot. Don't be a wuss.
Alright, start of the show, you mentioned about well, since you asked. The start of the show, you wanted to know what the world thinks of Trump and that. They're still going on about, Trump doing all this stupid crap in the media here, which is why I don't watch the media. Because I don't really see how that affects us, not unless Trump wants to build a wall around Australia to keep us in. The British already tried that, but we seem to go everywhere anyway.
Okay.
Second of all, the old millennium.
Hey, hang on, Tom, 1 second. First of all, God never said He wasn't a respecter of persons.
Acts 10:34?
He absolutely didn't. Peter then opened his mouth and said, of a truth I perceive. Peter said he perceived.
Of a truth I perceive.
Of a truth, his belief. Of a truth I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. Also, if you go back to Romans 2:11, Galatians 2:6, Ephesians 6:9, go look at the definition of that. Go look at exactly what he says. Okay? He is saying here that when the people God to all things that are commanded thee of God. That is what he's referring to and what he is talking to. Okay? So, basically, it doesn't go into exactly what we're talking about. Now, if you go into the Bible and we go down here about children and where they fall into place and where they fall into line, you will then
children.
See. So.
Well, yeah, you're on children, yeah.
Okay, so my point is
my point was persons.
My point is this. In order for you to be an effective leader in your family, okay?
Right.
You have to do it together as one, just as God puts you together. Okay? Right. And that's my point. So,
it's great philosophy. It's wonderful. It's great. I mean, I'm never going to argue with that. I would not dispute that ever.
I just think that we've made a mistake. We've gotten away from all that stuff.
I just think that, yes, I think we've made a mistake and we've lost our roots and we're worshiping the wrong God.
Yes.
And now you're bowing to government. And that's I mean,
You cannot have two masters.
that's right. Exactly. That's why I don't have a license.
Yeah, you cannot have two masters. There's no question about it. You cannot worship two different things, Mammon and God. They don't go to. It'll never work. So
That's right.
Oh, I'm back.
So
back.
it's one of those.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
But I have in your answer skills, I have disciplined the children as far as different things that I will try. I will take away internet. I will take away TV. I don't owe them that. And I tell them that straight on up. If you're not going to contribute here, help out with chores and do things, I'm not going to give you an allowance. I'm not going to help you along your way. You have to stay within the parameters of what we decide, your mother and I together. So, and a lot of times, if they do something, I don't have to discipline them. She'll be down those steps and she'll take care of the job for me.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so it works out that way. But
see, when I was a kid, there was no allowance. Of course, there was pretty much no parents either, so. They worked. They were gone. Yeah, my father worked nights, and my mother was gone at night when I was, just a lad. But when we moved to Connecticut, yeah, they both worked at night. I didn't have parents.
So, do we get back to where do you? All right, here's a good question. Was our country founded? Do you think that we went back when we originally were here? The Native Americans, we know, a lot of them had a belief in God. Okay, and agreed.
Yep.
Agreed. Okay.
Agreed.
Okay, so
there's a creator. They all agreed there is a creator.
That's right. Okay, so I'm going to tell you, which goes back, and a lot of them understood Jesus Christ too, and very, very different when you think about that, Christ being from abroad, overseas, wherever, in a different area, but them acknowledging that. Now, when we came here, and we didn't found this country, anyway, I'll disagree with anyone. This country is Native American. It was founded that way. Anyway, if you look at it, when we say we founded this country and everything, it was based on what? What did our forefathers base our country on?
Freedom.
Nah, not freedom.
Liberty.
Papa knows where I'm going. Was it Christianity?
Freedom of religion.
Okay.
It wasn't so much Christianity. It was you can whoever your God is.
Okay, and at that time,
But there is a creator.
Okay, but what I'm saying was this country was basically founded on Christianity. Okay.
It was based upon creationism.
Most of those people were Masons. Jefferson.
That's right.
Jefferson.
that was Satan, but
Washington.
Still creation.
Or whatever. You say what you want. Okay. Believe me, I've never worshipped Satan. Never worshipped Satanism in all my time as being a Mason.
Especially either way, it's creation. Go ahead.
Especially when we have a King James Bible in front of us.
Yeah. Right.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
You've never been in one, so you'll never understand. We'll argue to death on that one.
Well, no, we won't. I know he was a Freemason, but go ahead.
Okay. There's no Satanism in Mason. I'm sorry. There's not. It's an ignorant.
Okay, let's get back to the point here.
But the point is that that's basically how our country was started. Okay. And it grew from there, and today we don't have that anymore. Okay, somewhere along the line, we have lost, because of this freedom of religion and everything. We have lost a lot of values. We have lost everything. It's part of what split the family up.
Right.
I mean, if you believe in God and Jesus Christ, and you go to a church and they tell you if you're not part of the church because you haven't paid your dues or this and that, you can't take communion, there's a problem.
Marriage.
Right?
Oh, there's all kinds of problems.
Yeah.
I've been to a church where they said all of those in good standing come on up and take communion. What does that mean? What's good standing? Does that mean my belief in Christ, or is that, you know what I'm saying?
Do you know why there was a war in Scotland?
You mean why there's a war ever all over the entire world?
No, why there was a big Scottish rebellion way back. The religious persecution is what it was. Protestants, Catholics. Okay?
Oh, I'm sure.
There's a difference of opinion on who created them. All right? Did you know that when the settlers came here back in the 1600s to escape that persecution, and they settled here, did you know Christmas was banned in this country?
But who gave us gifts?
You know the reason why they burned witches in this country was because of those satanic rituals? The same reason why Christmas was banned here was because of those rituals?
What rituals are you referring to?
Oh, how about the celebration of the tree, where you cut down a tree and you carve a god out of it and decorate it with gold and silver and use the rest of the wood for sustenance, for the for heat and for cooking and such for the rest of the year. Yeah, the celebration of the tree, but that was with a different kind of tree, though, right?
Well, I don't know.
That was a cedar. A cedar, yeah.
You are the one that was there, not me. Listen, I can't possibly tell you anything, what anybody did, what's true and what's not true, except through a bunch of BS gossip or anything else of what they state as facts before 1965. Okay? There's my limit right there. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's the same with you. We can hear all the different things that we want to hear from 1800s, 1700s, 1600s, 1500s. We can believe that we know what this person was thinking or that person was thinking. I don't know how, but I guess we can. All right? But we know two things.
I don't know. I don't, but whatever.
All right? There's more evidence to prove Jesus Christ existed than there is
I don't
not.
dispute that.
Then there is
I
not.
don't dispute that.
Okay. So, knowing that and looking at as much of that evidence as I can, to me, that is enough to satisfy my belief. Okay? Now, this world, since the beginning of time, every war has basically been started and fought over religion. Okay?
Well, I'll differ with that, but go ahead.
Okay, name the war, and we can go back and always take a look. But most of it's been fought.
Well,
over religion.
it all comes back to money and slavery. But yeah, go ahead.
I mean, you could dress it up, and it's still a pig, dude. Okay,
that's right. You're absolutely right.
It still comes back.
Give it any color lipstick. Go ahead.
That's right. It still comes back to that crap. If you don't think so, then what do we see going on in today's world? I mean, come on. We got one religion, this, different sects here, different this, and everything else.
What we have going on is what we created.
Yes.
And I guess we deserve it because we created it.
There you go. But I can't say that we created the existence of Jesus Christ. There's more evidence to prove that he existed. There's more to prove that he existed. Plain and simple. Plain and simple.
All right.
Maybe.
You believe what you want, but there's more to prove that he existed than he did not exist. And for me, I can base my premise.
Belief is belief. It's opinion. It doesn't matter, unless there's stated facts. Which was where I usually go to get my stuff. Like when I read about the Civil War, I read about that in the Congressional Record. That's how I know it was nothing about slavery at all.
You could believe that, but you can't believe in Jesus Christ? You can believe all this crap about cedar trees and everything else.
Said who?
And that seems more realistic.
Dude, you think you're reading my mind and you don't have a clue.
No, I'm just saying. That's my point. And this is where we have lost track as parents, as adults. This is why we're having family problems.
I'm a Christian.
I know that, but I'm saying this is where we're having problems. Most of the people are believing so much smoke and mirrors about other crap, they have lost sight of their families. That's it.
Here,
It's that
I tell you
simple.
what.
To do with Jesus Christ.
Here's what you do. You put all of that aside, all right? You concentrate on your family. You do what's right throughout life. You live it, and you have fun doing it. That's it. That's it.
What does all of that stuff state about Yeshua ben Hur, though? What about him?
About
What
who?
about it?
Yeshua ben Hur. Bear knows. You talk all this stuff about Christ. I'm saying, do you know who Yeshua was? He's the carpenter they refer to as Jesus back in the Bible time.
Jesus was not a carpenter. Joseph.
No. Right. This is what I'm saying. Is that when you look at religion, is like everybody has their story.
Right,
you know?
right. Yeah.
So my question is this. If you guys are standing in front of me, I would say, hey, I can see you. You know? But I'm saying, like, none of us can see Jesus. We can always be told of his teachings and told of his ways. But where is he? A prayer away? A phone call away? A text away?
No, he's faith away. He's faith away. Okay?
Right.
It's faith. You can't see. You can't see air.
No, I can't see, but I just want to politely say this. Are we going to sit here and say that if I pray to obtain a pizza, am I getting it because I prayed to a higher God, or am I getting it because I called the pizza place and the delivery guy brought it to me?
Maybe the internet connection was good. What if you called the pizza place and you couldn't get through?
Do you see the point I'm trying to make here, though?
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
I think it's easier to see something like the sun and say, hey, there it is, as opposed to being like, you know, I can't see something. That's like believing in ghosts. I'm not saying ghosts aren't real.
Let's put it this way. I'm just going to deliver a punchline, okay? Although the delivery man was Satan, it was God sent. So,
I always put it like this. I could be wrong for my belief. I could be wrong. If I am, I've done nothing but waste my own time. If I'm right, everybody else is screwed.
So what Papa's saying, no matter what, we should never trust the pizza delivery guy.
Yeah, don't trust him.
Yeah.
But we're
getting ready to wind it up here. We got about 10 minutes, huh?
Yeah. You know, that's the wonderful thing, though, okay, is that
pizza comes hot to your door, and if it's after 40 minutes, it's free.
There you go.
That went away a long time ago, dude. A long time ago.
Everything is better if you get it when it's hot.
Yeah, that went away a long time ago. But you know, it's nice to know that that there are people out there that believe in something, and they don't have anything in their hands that say, okay, here it is. They go off of faith. It's the same thing with marriage. Okay.
Yeah.
This person can tell you that they're going to be there for you forever. Unless they show you, right?
Right.
So you're going off of blind faith. And that's what you're doing. And that's why I'm saying if you have that hierarchy, God first, then your spouse, and then your kids, and then everything else falls into line, you're probably going to have a pretty good life. There's no guarantee. God didn't promise us anything that we're going to have a great life.
What if you hit the lotto? I mean, what if you don't believe in God and you hit the lotto? I think you'd have a pretty good life.
Well, as a millennial,
I didn't say God didn't promise you anything. He didn't promise you anything, and you can hit the lottery. I've known people that have hit the lottery that have been on the news, and they had a terrible life. Okay, I don't know whether they believe in Christ or not.
All the time.
If you win the lottery, you're not allowed to bring your name to the public unless you choose so.
Here you go.
Right.
I know people who have been married once and has made it. I know my brother's been married 4 times. All right, I've never been married. So I mean, there's all different situations. It's all individual. It depends on who you are. And I knew I wasn't good enough for marriage. The thing is, I admitted it. I could admit it to myself and not, and not bite that bullet and not put anybody else through the bullshit.
She probably would have shot you by now if you got married.
Oh, You know what?
Tom.
If I'd known that was going to happen, I would have done it.
Tom's already said
There's
there's a
a-
murder
I
in the
got
first degree
bulletproof
somewhere.
Yeah.
See, if you've been around as long as Papa Bear, a man who was there to cut down and decorate the first Christmas tree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Poor Papa.
Hey, I
I beat him
busted
up
the
enough.
first rock to make dust, okay?
Do you know what?
When you survive the first 4 crusades, you think, you know what? Maybe marriage isn't for me.
Well, Michael, this reminds me, and going back to the days of we lost our Superman, right?
Smelting.
I Superman, 1989. Your dad, you lost. You're Superman when you did, and now you control the Empire. That's why you're the new Superman.
Well, hopefully I'm not Darth Vader, okay? Because from what I've seen on every movie, he's not good. But I don't know. Yeah,
Sorry.
I'm just
Oh
saying.
man, in the end of Rogue One, he does kind of wipe the floor of all the rebels. So
You never know. I don't know. I just think that somehow or another, most of the people have lost faith. And they've got to find it again, and they got to get it together. And I'm hoping that, families stick it out, try to work it out, do whatever, figure it out.
But Mike, have we lost faith, or have we kind of like pulled the veil back on Oz?
For me, I think it's more of if we're sitting here, JB, and we're looking for an alternative, and we're looking for an Oz, then we've lost faith. Okay, and that's what I think it is. And then this is what you'll get. It's called confusion.
On that point, though, is like I don't think we're looking for an Oz, but I mean I kind of almost think we're like willfully asleep in that premises of the Oz. I'm like, here we are. We can change things. We can do things. We can stand up, rise up, make a difference. But I think once we submit to something else, we kind of fall back and put our hands together and say, will someone else do it?
I think we need to stop paying attention to other people's business and start paying attention to our own.
That's a big part of it.
And
that
would cure a lot of it.
That's a big part. But you know what? Instead of everyone trying to disprove it or do that, we need to go a little bit more on faith is what I say. Because it all starts with faith. And it really does. And if we really want to prove that we're all alone in this world and that there is nothing else, then don't believe in heaven, don't believe in hell. But it seems to me everybody, there's no doubt. You don't hear a lot of dispute about hell. No, sir. But you sure do about the other side, don't you? So
what if this is hell?
I don't know what it is, but I know I don't want to go there.
I agree with that. What if this is hell?
It probably
and
is.
It's got people like us just trying to make the best of it.
We try to sugarcoat that turd.
Great. And I don't know. I just...
Anyway, last minute plug.
Yeah.
Come on over to L&M Radio Network. Hit that subscribe button. Donate if you don't want to subscribe. Listen to the archives. It was a great time.
It was.
Wonderful discussion.
You know what? It always is. I always have a great time with you guys, and I love discussing it because it's important and it's worthwhile. So, I can't.
It's a discussion.
Mike, I want you and Papa Bear to open up the sermon, and I will come to your church because I will listen to that.
We have a lot of fun.
This is awesome.
Yeah, Papa Bear and I have a lot of fun. We can always disagree, but you know what? It will never hinder our friendship, and we really don't disagree. A lot of times we're just we talk but I want him to challenge me, and I'm going to challenge him. I'll call him on it every time. Yeah. He'll call me on it every time. Because we always like to make sure that we're giving the best.
We keep each other's pencils sharp.
Absolutely. And it's important. And Skillzzz just sits back there, and every once in a while he'll say, here we go, we need another log on the fire.
It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it.
It is. And it is a lot of fun. And, I'm very blessed that you know, that Skillzzz and I have hooked back up after all these years, and we're all in the positions that we're in. It's wonderful, and I've met so many great people. On that note, because we got about 2 minutes left, anybody have any last thoughts or anything?
Donate to L&M. I did have a heap of points for every topic you guys talked about. Donate to L&M. Don't let babies do cocaine, and sooner or later you will win the lotto. Or maybe not.
And if you don't play.
Don't play.
JB, any thoughts?
Wonderful discussion tonight. Really enjoyed all of it. Wish I would have joined in from the very beginning. Everyone have a good and safe 4th of July, and just enjoy your family. And let's try to make this year better than the past years. Let's really put the best foot forward and try to make a change.
Skillzzz, how about you?
Thanks for being with us, JB.
Hey, no problem.
How about you, Skillzzz?
Sincerely, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening tonight. And what could be better than hearing a white dissension note in regards to Michael and Papa? We will indeed successfully move along from here. But it's been a fantastic show, guys and gals. And as Michael, the old handsome Greek guy, in the controls. But it's all you, Michael.
All right. Well, I just wanted to say before we get on out of here, Lift for 22. Those guys work very hard. Carter, thank you so much for what you do for the veterans. They provide gym memberships to veterans that are suffering with PTSD. And, it's a nonprofit group, a 501c3. Can't thank you guys enough for all that you do. God bless you guys. And, 22 till no more. Thank you guys, and for all the groups on out there, veterans, if you're, or anyone for that matter, suffering with PTSD, needing help, go to one of the different places on the Facebook page. Please, your life is important. Don't take it. Share it, okay? Share it, because we love you and we need you. And everyone out there, be good. Tomorrow it's a big day. Celebrate it. Enjoy it. Be respectful of people that are suffering, and love each other. Anyway, we will see you next week on Show Us, Don't Tell Us. And until then, I want to say, thank you for joining us. And Papa, Skillzzz, JB, Tom, love you guys. Thank you as always. It's such a privilege and a special time. You guys
Happy birthday, Dana Obar.
There you go.
How's that?
Have a good night, everyone. God bless.
And Joe Long as well.
Yep. God bless.
So long.
Have a good night.
Yep. See ya.